Because we're live on Facebook as well. OU81 Tuesdays here on Johnny Beane TV, YouTube, Facebook, X. We're live, you guys. It's September 19th, 2023. It's 8:08 Bob time, Eastern time, 5:08 Pacific, and I think Mountain time too, huh, Dan? Are we the same time right now?
Yes, I'm with the Pacific time. Yeah, we're on the same time right now, Johnny.
It's the same time. It's the same time, you guys. We're live. So you guys smash that thumbs up. Smash that subscribe. We got a lot of new people here. You guys are awesome. And we're going to talk some Van Halen tonight, and we're going to do a giveaway as well. So you want to make sure you participate in the chat. Just talk. Just say anything you want in the chat. All right. Exclusively Van Halen. Here we go.
Hey, this is Michael Anthony right here, and you are watching exclusively Van Halen on the Johnny Beane TV. Keep it there. Woo! See ya.
The Johnny Beane Show.
I like that. Hey now. Yes. I like that. It's perfect on that guitar, too. Hey, guys. What's up? Johnny Beane here. Dane Zimmerman, Zim's Guitars. Make sure you check out his channel. Brand new video dropped today.
Oh, no, that's the wrong. Yeah.
Greetings, Earthlings.
No, that was my Rob Chapman impersonation.
Oh, okay. All right. I've met him. I've met him at the... you know where I met him, Dane?
At the NAMM show.
Any ideas? At the NAMM show, which, by the way, we will be... This January, the very end of January, we'll be live streaming from the NAMM show, Anaheim, California. And while we're on the subject of live streaming, I know some of you guys, I've been trying to get you guys for the past couple of years to come over here. And it's been kind of strange, but if you guys want even more, actually, there's two things. Okay, there's three. We got three. Well, I got two trips coming up. One is the NAMM show, the Uno Dos Tres. I got the NAMM show coming up. You guys all know that. We live stream. Had an amazing time last year. But if you guys follow me on Twitch, okay. Well, let me put it to you this way. Okay, I will be live streaming from Las Vegas in about 1 month. What's the date today? September 19th? About a month from today, I'll be live streaming from Las Vegas. I'll be checking out music stores, guitar stores, whatever. But if you guys follow me on Twitch, I'll also be live streaming on my Twitch channel from TwitchCon, Las Vegas. And I know for some of you that sounds absurd, but it's actually pretty cool.
TwitchCon.
TwitchCon. It's like the NAMM of Twitch streamers. So I'll be streaming on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Johnny Beane, from TwitchCon, October 28th through the 24th. And I'll be streaming from Las Vegas here on YouTube from guitar shops. Wasn't there like some store there? You guys were saying that they wouldn't let me film in there, but I said nonsense.
Ed Roman.
I'll be going in there. Well, maybe, but no, there was there's a show. Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars is in Las Vegas. I'm going to go to Pawn Stars for you guys here on YouTube. Okay?
Tell them you have the original Frankenstrat for sale, and can you get an offer from them?
Uh-huh. They'll be excited about that. All right, there we go. In the chat, there's my Twitch link. All right.
No, take your EVH guitar to the Pawn Stars and tell them that, hey, Eddie played this. Edward Van Halen played this guitar. Forget about the whole that it's got a 2018 serial number on it. No, because Eddie played that one.
Actually, they've probably seen some of those because those are available. Actual ones, you know.
Sure they have.
But anyway, look at this. Eric J is here. He's back.
What's up, Johnny? Thanks for having me on again, man.
From Saturday night.
Yeah. Now it's
Saturday night. We had a great time hanging out.
Yeah. Talked about all kinds of stuff. We into Star Trek and Bigfoot and everything.
Yeah, we get kind of crazy on that show. But tonight, this is the Van Halen show. So all things Van Halen you want to talk about, this is the place. And I see behind you do have some Van Halen stuff back there. You got a Wolfgang.
Yeah.
You got one of the EVH skateboards.
Yeah, that's the Koa-topped Wolfgang standard, right? I think they call it. And that's the skateboard where cue your sound effect that I ride and smash into things on.
Oh, whoops.
Well, there we go. There you go.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
That other sound effect was getting a boner. That's the getting.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
That's an EVH lava an EVH
awesome.
Branded incense.
Right on.
EVH
okay.
Incense.
It's frankincense. Get it?
Frankincense. Before we get too carried away, let's say hello to the top tier of channel members here on Johnny Beane TV YouTube network. The executive producers of Johnny Beane TV are currently CC, Stephen Franklin, Michael Smith, Music Therapy Laz, Sherman Callahan, 40 Grit, John Moronic, Majestic PB and J Cat, Guitarman 45, Janice Lala, R-Habs, Warlag, Patty Dill, Fairfield Guitar Co. And actually, there's another name that's not even on this list I need to add to it. We have another executive producer that's not even on here. I need to add them to this list. So the next show we do, which will be Friday.
And who might that be?
I saw it earlier. I can't remember what it said. Yeah. Anyway, you know who you are. Okay. So if you'd like to support this channel membership is the best way to do that because you get your name in green in the chat, like Mike Olson, like Robbie Stingle, like Ryan Fraley. A number of people. They get exclusive content. They'll be getting exclusive content from Las Vegas. It'll be incredible. If you guys want to watch me eat a whole steak in one bite on one fork, I can do that. Didn't we talk about that? We talked about that. I think it was Friday.
That was Saturday. That was my brother had that story when NAMM 90 or 88 went out to dinner with Vito Bratta.
Yes.
Roll from Steinberger, and
yeah,
still don't believe it because.
If you guys want to see me eat a steak in one sitting, make sure to become a channel member while I'm in Las Vegas for TwitchCon. It'll be incredible.
So TwitchCon, Johnny, who are the musicians that are big on Twitch? I mean, who are you hoping to run into? Because, when you go to NAMM, there's certain guys that you pretty much know is there, and you're hoping you run into them. Who's at this TwitchCon? Who's going to be there?
Truthfully, I don't know. I have no idea. But the reason I'm going is to network. I'm going to network with other Twitch streamers. And it's not only about video gaming, you guys. It's about streaming. And you guys know we do scheduled streams here, but I'm live every night over on Twitch. Every night. A couple of you guys know this.
I still don't know what Twitch is.
It's just a live streaming platform.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people associate. a lot of people have associate it with video gaming, but it's all kinds of stuff. It's stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
It's stuff like talk shows, performing,
Cooking.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. And Twitch is more geared towards the live, whereas YouTube is more geared towards the video, such as what Dane dropped today. You know, storage locker videos. So, anyway, gotta start promoting. So, Las Vegas, we'll be there in about a month. So make sure you guys tune in. And hey, if any of you guys are in Las Vegas, if you want to meet up, buy me a steak for $1.99. I'll be there.
We used to play at a little bar in Vegas called, what was that little bar called? There's a little punk rock bar. Something to do with cards. The double, what was that called? Oh, it was really close to the Hard Rock Cafe where you could walk to it. But yeah, we used to go to Vegas and play this little punk rock bar. It was a little tiny place and it was super cool. You know, the punk bands all have stickers, and this bar was pretty much held together with all the little stickers everywhere. The Double Deuce, something like that.
That's for
Double
Roadhouse.
Deuce.
That's where Patrick Swayze worked in Roadhouse.
Oh,
Dalton.
In Vegas?
that wasn't.
No, it was in Jasper, Wyoming, Jasper, Mississippi.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, it'll be a great time, you guys. So, got to start promoting. So, look forward to that. What else? What else do we do? If you'd like to support the channel,
Went to the Imperial. I actually went to the Imperial Palace one time. Yeah, on my second honeymoon, we went to the Imperial Palace, and they gave us a little, like if you bet or you buy, they gave us these little coupons. I remember what it was. If you fly Southwest Airlines, they gave you a little coupon book to play blackjack and the thing that spins on the wheel. You roll the ball around. What was that one?
Roulette.
What's that one called? Where the ball jumps around.
Roulette.
And we won a couple $100. It's awesome.
very good.
That was my big story. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Johnny.
That's cool. Oh, no. No, I was just saying, if you'd like to help support the show, you guys got the Guitar Moir. You guys know the lights change. We're also live on Facebook, my personal page. If we're Facebook friends, or if you just follow me, you'll see the live stream on Facebook. We got Facebook stars, and we're live in the exclusively Van Halen group at 62,000 members. I have like 400 people I have to approve that want to get into that group. So pretty busy over there.
What is the question that they have to answer a question about Van Halen to get in?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, they have to name 2 Van Halen songs.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
wow.
some of them just say okay. So those are the ones that they're out of there instantly. We're also live in the EVH Gear Fans Live group, EVH Gear Fans Live page, and the Johnny Beane TV group, which, by the way, that guitar that Dane is holding there, if you're watching this in the EVH Gear Fans Live group, maybe you can help us identify this guitar. Because, see, there it looks red. The closer you hold it to the camera, it looks like the rocket red. The further away it is, it looks like the neon orange. Which
Yeah, and it's got
I have no memory of.
Down here on the bottom horn, and there's newer versions where this is a beep, 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 and the switch is up here.
Correct.
Yeah, so the newer version's got a kill switch. But the guy that sold this to me today said it was neon orange.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see too many of them.
Looks orange. No, you don't. You don't at all. So I think you made a good deal on that. You know what you can do?
It's low friction right here and a regular friction for the tone. But that's really the thing is, low friction, then regular on the tone. And the switch goes forward and back that I noticed, or it'd be up and down here. But I think if you ohm out the pickups, this is the hotter pickup is in the neck. That's how Eddie preferred the louder pickup was in the neck position.
That's how they were originally on the Music Man guitars. The neck pickup was a little hotter, I believe.
Are they still doing that with the EVH
maybe they
stuff?
carried that maybe they carried that over to the EVH line. Anybody in the chat, if you want to chime in? By the way, if you chime in the chat, this is perfect. You will be entered to win. We're giving away a Van Halen Life magazine right here. So if you want to win this.
Is that new? Is that something that just came out?
They came out a few years ago, and then they reissued it again recently. Display until September 15th. Oh, so you can't get these anymore. Oh, you can get this one here. You see, it says display until September 15th, 2023. There we go.
And what guitar is he holding in that one? What guitar is he holding on the cover? Oh, that's the original Frankie.
That one.
Okay.
Looks like that one back there. So if you want to win this, participate in the chat. Like Todd says, I want to win. Type win in the chat, everybody, and you will get a chance to win this at the end of the show, which could be in an hour or 3, depending. Yes. Who do we have here? Let's read some names here really quickly. We got about 60 people here. You guys are awesome. We got Todd. We got Lewis. We got Jeff. We got Gary. We got Chris, Dean, Uncle, Stream, Reginald. Hey, I owe you guys a great big apology for Saturday. What happened Saturday? I have no memory of Saturday. We got Holly. We got Skyprop. We got Blue Mox. What Floyd Rose is in that orange guitar that Dane has? Why you put... Oh, wow, that was weird. Did you see that? He was holding it, and then it went away. That was bizarre.
Oh, it's
now it's floating.
It's a ghost.
Now it's floating through the air. Man.
I have a lot of old haunted guitars in here.
Mm-hmm.
The older the guitar is, the more haunted it is. And the ghosts come out. I'm actually going to do a video, and it's going to be like an episode of Ghost Adventures. What's that ghost haunting show where they turn the lights out and they walk around with black lights and all that?
Ghostbusters.
Ghost Hunters. So yeah, look for that. An episode of Ghost Hunters where I walk through my store at night with the lights out. It's creepy.
You know, that could be a Halloween guitar because it's orange.
And black pickups.
Do you guys remember that time I was at the Guitar Center and I wanted to play the orange Wolfgang, and the guy the guy that worked there called it pumpkin orange? Remember that? Is that pumpkin orange?
That's an Ibanez color. They actually have a color called poisoned pumpkin that they use
on
some
wow.
RGs. Yeah.
Whoa.
Put down this note and see
what were they asking?
what
Floyd is in that? That's probably a Floyd Rose special. Probably.
It just says EVH
or not.
Floyd Rose. But it's
1,000.
Let's experiment here. I got a tuner on it. And it says it's close to being in an E. Hold on, let's put it in E. Okay, let's drop the D tuner down and see where she's at. Oh, it's way out of adjustment. So the way you do these, in case anybody's interested, You pull the D tuner out and you tune the string to D, perfectly to D. And then you put it back in, and then you take a little wrench and you stick it right there in the side, and you adjust that to an E, and then there
You're basically tuning it.
Yes.
With that final adjustment.
Sometimes I have the right Allen wrenches laying here at my front desk.
Hey, Johnny, was Unchained, that was the first song that Eddie did Drop D on, right?
That's a good question.
I can't think of any others earlier than that.
That's a good question, man.
Because when I was learning it when I was a kid, I just used the regular D. I didn't even realize that he was chugging on the low string because, in the 80s, we didn't know his drop D as a tuning,
Well, is Sinner's Swing in drop D?
I think that tune, Hear About It Later, is drop D.
No, that's E flat. So I know at least the beginning of that one.
Don't ask
it's
me
funny.
to play Van Halen stuff.
I got flagged for copyright on my show Sunday, and I have no memory of playing anything by anybody else except me Sunday. So that was kind of weird. I got dinged for it today. Took 2 days.
Was that the chorus pedal show?
Yes.
I watched that. You were playing your own variations of cover songs of people.
Oh, I played Pretty Woman. That's what it was. Yeah. I played It Caught It. That's okay.
Who got you? Roy Orbison then, or
Roy Orbison came after me, yeah. It's all good though. It's all good. All right. I guess we're being put on mute. Maybe someone's about to buy that guitar. That's awesome. Okay. Hear About It Later is drop D. 40 Grit is saying. Oh, right on. Yeah, I was thinking there's a few songs off Fair Warning that are drop D.
Is that the first album? Nothing on 1, 2, or Women and Children First is drop D, right?
That's actually a good question. And that's a good question for the chat.
Yeah.
Are there any songs that are drop D from the first few Van Halen records that you guys can think of? I can't.
I can't either. It's all half step down, sort of, kind of half step down, right? Because Eddie, whatever Eddie was in, Mike would just tune to it and they would just go. They didn't get real creative. Because when I first started playing, I'm like, man, I'm tuned exactly. I'm supposed to be, but it still sounds off. And there's people I don't see on the Van Halen forums. They have the actual tuning, like how many megahertz each string is for. I'm like, wow, man, that's too much work. I just get it.
Oh, yeah. There's dudes that are really into that, and that's great. I mean, it's just a real dedication to that. It's great stuff. By the way, Jay Turner, I see you here, man. Jay, do you want me to mention that? Jay, do you want me to mention? You had messaged me earlier asking me a question. And I can mention that if you just say yes or no. Oh, you already said it. Okay, our friend Jay Turner here. He's in a band. What's your band called? Mean Street. Is it Mean Street? Yeah, it's in his avatar. Our friend Jay Turner, he plays bass in the Van Halen tribute called Mean Street. They're looking for an LA Raiders number 32 jersey, like what Eddie Van Halen wore during the 84 era. And I have a photo of it right here.
It's in the Donington video, right? That's what he wears the whole...
Yes, it's in the Donington video. So if anybody out there, if you have access to one of these jerseys, if you know where they're doing like a printing of these, our friend Jay Turner, his guitar player in his Van Halen tribute called Mean Street, I heard they're one of the best. They're looking for this shirt. So if anybody has one or if you can make one, please contact our friend Jay Turner and just look up Mean Street Tribute.
That's an early pick of that shirt, isn't it? Then when he was wearing it, he had one of the sleeves cut off, I think, at a later date.
Maybe, yeah. Like there's another one.
Marcus Allen, right? Wasn't Marcus Allen on the Raiders, number 32 back then?
I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I think the sleeves were cut for the Donington video.
When he got bigger, when he was working out, he cut the sleeves off.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just walked in the door. Dane put me to work again.
Hey. How are you doing,
y'all
man? We're
good.
great.
Good. Yeah, we're under 100 degrees here. That's a big plus. It was 72 this morning. We were all freezing to death.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, it's nice out now. And Dane just got a guy came in with a whole bunch of cases and stuff, so he's busy. So he threw me over here and said, do something useful.
Right on. Well, hey, meet Eric. This is Eric J.
What's up, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Right here.
Good, sir. How are you?
Rock Daddy here.
Yeah. You might recognize him from the chat. You'll see like the name Rock Daddy in the chat.
Right. Yeah, people seem to
Yeah,
know.
I get on there and harass everybody. So
The internet, that's what it's for, harassing people.
I like to harass Nightbot because he didn't talk back. So what's our
Right
topic
on.
today?
Well, we were just talking. Well, there's that guitar behind you. That's one that Dane just got. That's a 5150 series guitar, EVH. Pretty rare color. The other side, the orange. The orange color.
Oh, the orange one?
Like, we haven't seen too many of those online. Yeah. It's an earlier finish. Thank you.
That needs a
Janice.
volume control for the paint. That is bright. That is really bright.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah,
Boy.
that's cool, huh?
Yeah, that is nice. The neck's already broke in.
Nice. Yeah, it's Rock Daddy. Look, everybody in the chat saying Rock Daddy. Smash that thumbs up,
I came
everybody.
down. Yeah, I came down to get a case from him. Somebody brought in a case that's tiger striped. It's a fur tiger stripe soft case. And I thought, man, I don't have one of those. I need one. I don't know what I'm going to put in it.
A fur tiger stripe case.
Is it real tiger fur or not?
I don't know if it's real tiger fur, but it looks like this girl I met the other night out on Van Halen Street. But looks like her skirt. Anyhow.
Uh-huh. Wow.
So what's going on over where you're at? What's the weather like there?
It's a Van Halen show, dude. It's got the local weather report.
Well, I know, but we were talking about the weather.
Well, the weather, it's nice here.
Yeah.
It's nice in
Great.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
What's it like where you are, Eric?
Oh man, it's nice. Summer's over. Finally, it's a really hot summer, and it's kind of like getting into fall here. So mid 70s, low humidity. This is a fake tan. I go to a tanning bed, so that's why I look so ridiculous.
I just walk outside for 2 minutes.
I wish I could do that. It would save me a lot of money.
Yeah.
66 degrees here.
What do you guys think of that new Star Van Halen guitar? The Star.
Oh,
I was looking
the
at that
ones with like their off colors or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like that green one.
Yeah. I looked at that. I thought, man, I'd like to have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the Dan Electro headstock, right? Shaped. Is that what that was? He had a Dan Electro neck on the original one.
Yeah, because I collect Dan Electros, and I saw that and I thought, wow, that's wild. And then the star shape, and then it's a Van Halen guitar. I thought, man, that's got me going 3 different ways to Sunday here. So
awesome.
I'm looking at one.
Was that a Kramer body, or what was the body for that one, the original?
I'm not sure.
I think let's ask the chat. It's always you always want to get the chat, get the participation. What was the original star body in the chat? If anybody knows that. But hey, Rock Daddy though, you collect Dan Electros? You mean like the original ones?
Yeah, some of them. I like some of the new ones. I like some of the old ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Best playing 12-string electric I have is a Dan Electro.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got some 12-string electrics. I got
cool.
a bunch of those. Yeah, I got Gibsons and Riches and all kinds of stuff and Taylors. But man, that Dan Electro, for $350, I picked it up. I played it. I thought, wow, this thing's awesome. Then I found out that's what Jimmy Page was using. No wonder he's using this.
Did you ever come to a shop in Berkeley called Subway Guitars?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay, in the 90s, I worked at the shop, and we had tons of the original stock from Dan Electro. Like the actual stuff, not this new stuff. The original guitars that were like, not cardboard. What was the actual...
they were it was kind of like an MDF board.
Like some sort of, with the lipstick pickups. Those headstocks, everybody online is like, man, the headstock's horrible. It's whatever. No, if you guys know what that is, it's pretty awesome. Like, it's kind of nicknamed like the Coke bottle headstock or the Jimmy Page, because Jimmy Page used those. On the guitar that EVH has. See, it's on the green guitar right there. It says EVH on the very top. The original. Like if that was an original neck with the original decal, it would say Dan Electro down the middle. In between the 3x3 tuners, it would say Dan Electro. And those necks are great.
Oh,
the original
neck. Yeah, you can just they don't widen out at the top much. They're pretty much the same width all the way down. So if you're playing a lot of power chords or something real fast or something, you can just slide up and down that neck real easy and just pop those off real nice.
Neck.
So those are great. But
I'll show you guys.
I've got about 12 or 13 of them. I've got. You remember the long horns, the copper ones with the long horns up the sides and stuff. I've got a 6-string and a matching bass for it, and they're in pristine condition.
How many frets?
2 of them. I don't know.
How many frets?
I have no idea how many frets.
Some of those, the original ones I've seen, they would have up to like 30 frets. They get smaller and smaller and smaller. Oh, okay.
Yes. Short scales. So they're probably in 20, 21, something like that.
Okay.
But,
okay,
boy,
so
really
here's...
nice to play. I don't...
This is a reissue. See, it says talking guitars. We're talking guitars. Okay, this is a reissue. This isn't an original, but this is a reissue. This is like one of the newer ones. See, it would say Dan Electro down the headstock like that.
Right.
But that's basically what the Star guitar used. So this is like what EVH is like kind of copying, kind of. For those of you that have been wondering, because there's a lot of Van Halen fans out there that have no idea what that headstock is, and they're like, that's ugly, that's horrible. But if you know what it is, it's cool.
Was that just used on the Diver or Women and Children First tour, right? That's the only time I used that guitar?
No, he used it on the Van Halen 2 tour. He used it. It was the Star, but it had a Strat headstock.
Really? I didn't know. I thought he only used the Bumblebee on 2.
No. And actually, to get even weirder, he used the Bumblebee on the first tour as well.
Oh, really?
Not a lot of people know that. The very end of the first tour is when he got the Bumblebee.
Right, before. But they had already recorded 2, right? Because I thought I read that they had recorded 2, and then he got the guitar and he just used it for the pictures on the album. That is interesting. Yeah. That is interesting,
but no, the very end of the first tour, I think they were over in England. He was playing the B.
Okay.
But I guess he had changed it up.
Yeah.
For the second record and swapped it out and threw that pickup in it, changed the neck. Everything was different on it.
Because that had a Rockinger trem, right? Wasn't that the one that had a Rockinger trem and he wasn't crazy about it? And then that's when they put the Floyd into it.
But I think before the Rockingers. I think the Rockinger was later. That was during the Kramer days.
Oh, okay.
I think. Right, Nelson Rodriguez. What's up, dudes? Smash that thumbs up. What else? I'm trying to think. No, so the 79 tour, he did play the Star, but it was just white. It wasn't painted, and it had a Strat headstock on it. And there's Super 8 footage of that. So you'll notice it right away. You'll see it, and you'll be like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm going to look later.
Yeah. And then of course, by the Invasion tour, he was playing the Star, and it was all striped up.
I saw most of it on that tour, yeah.
Yeah. And it said UBAB 2 on the back. That's the guitar that EVH made a tribute of. And then now they're doing basically solid colors of those, such as the green one.
Did you hear one of the things I read was the solid color Frankenstrats, or they had some leftover bodies or something, and they I don't know if that's true or not. That's something that I read, that it wasn't really their plan to do that, but they kind of thought they sold as many of the striped ones as they could, so they just decided to paint the remaining bodies in solid colors and sell them that way.
I have not heard that. I mean, that could be true, but I would think that they would have, I mean, those bodies regardless. I mean, they would have the template for them, and they could just make them and, unpainted.
It's a good idea. I mean, not everybody wants to get on stage with a striped guitar. So
all right. Say, guys,
something that's basically Van Halen without stripes on it.
Rock Daddy,
everybody. Great
Rock
customer.
Daddy. Right on. So Dane, we're talking about the new. I think they call them the Frankie relics. Like that red one.
I want one. I want the red one.
Yeah.
With the maple neck.
Yeah, those are cool. Wait,
The green thing that looks like a Jackson Star. I'm not really into that one. Don't like the Dane Electro headstock.
Wait a minute. We just talked about that for 10 minutes.
I'm not a fan.
Don't But the thing is, you work at a shop, so you know the history of that headstock and how it's from other guitars, and Page used it, and it's not just something that's on a Van Halen guitar that people hate. Like, it's it's a cool thing.
Right.
So those solid color guitars, are basically these, just without the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Eric was just saying how he had heard possibly they had some of those bodies and they just painted them. I would think, I mean, they would have the templates for them and they could just crank them out. But the thing is, with not just EVH, but a lot of guitar companies, a lot of guitars like this, by the time they come out, they're in development for several years. Not just like whatever. Like that brand new guitar that Wolfgang is playing. He's going to be playing that guitar on stages for 2 years, probably going on 3 years before the guitar even comes out. That one, the one on the right there, the SA126. So,
that guitar fits him really good. It's a big
They're
guy.
cool.
Yeah, the little PV Wolfgang would look like a little tiny, like he's playing a little toy guitar. Well, he's not like he's giant, but the Wolfgang would look like he's playing a little 3/4 size, little small body guitar.
I mean, a lot of people have said, just in general, there's a lot of people out there that say it was before the Wolfgang, like the Music Man. The Van Halen Music Mans, there's a lot of people that like them but can't play them because they say they're too small on them. Like, I'm 4 foot. To me, it's a big guitar. But Eric, how tall are you?
5'10" and a half on a good day.
So are the Wolfgang guitars, are they kind of small for you? Would you think?
I don't know. What do you think? I think they're I don't know, they're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That
Not
looks
much
good.
different than a Strat.
That looks good.
Have you played the Music Man?
I have the fake one, the OLP one, but I think it's the same size. I love that. I used that as my gigging guitar for years because I could throw it up in the air and catch it and not worry about it. I think I got it for $100.
Yeah.
I remember when the Ernie Balls came out. What was that? Late '90 or I guess Pound Cake was the first time we saw it, right? The video for Pound Cake.
The video for Pound. Well, officially, the first time we saw it was in the Guitar Player ad.
Oh, okay.
Where he's playing the red one. Photo by David Bertinelli. That was the first time we saw that.
Okay.
The video was the debut of the guitar.
Right.
And then each video after that, Run Around, Top of the World.
Yeah, the Runaround, didn't he have a double neck one too, right? Purple double neck and a striped one in it, I believe.
And a different striped one than the one in Pound Cake. Pound Cake had the striped one too.
At the end, yeah.
But that finish was actually painted up and taped up and everything. The Runaround finish was just the front was just painted.
I remember it seems people didn't like those when they first came out. Everybody was like, what is this? And they didn't like the shape and all that. And I thought they were kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was sort of a, because everything, what did he say? He didn't want to just do like another bastardized Strat, wasn't he, sit in an interview? And, I always thought they were great looking guitars.
Yeah. He had said it was almost like a Telecaster and a Strat and a Les Paul like combined.
Yeah,
which is kind of what it is if you look at the different different parts of it. Yeah, I first played one in Santa Barbara, California, 1992, late 91. I played one, and I thought it was awesome. And then I got one. I got one for Christmas '92.
Oh wow!
And I still have it. And I play it.
Let me get my OLP so you can see the difference. But I never played a real one, so I don't know. I just got this one at a pawn shop, and it was great.
That's the thing. A lot of people have never played one. Can I get mine? Dan, do you have one in the shop?
No, I don't. They're all gone.
Here, let's see that. I'm gonna grab mine. I'll show you mine too.
Dead air, Eric. Dead air.
Dead air. Oh, my bad. You can hear me playing. Yeah, I got this for $130 like 10 years ago. I guess, what do they call that? A photo finish or something? It's just kind of glued on there. So it's not real, but it looks real,
A laminate.
Laminate. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. And then the back is just black. But I think everything else is the same. Two humbuckers. I've kind of hot rodded mine a little bit with Babbitt's full contact saddles. 50 times the surface contact there on the saddles. I don't know if you can see that, but gigantic improvement over the regular saddles that were on this guitar. Deck the bridge. I don't use the tremolo or anything. And 940.
And let's see the headstock.
What's that?
Let's see the headstock on it. There we go. Oh yeah, I had a yellow one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Had it in here for a long time.
Yeah.
What'd you have to pay for that thing?
literally $100. I bought this.
Oh
for
yeah, that's great.
in a pawn shop. I don't even know. It's like 6 or 7 years ago, and I thought it was trashed, and I was just going to hang it on the wall. But all I did was, adjust the truss rod a little bit. Like I said, deck the bridge because the hardware wasn't fantastic. But once you put the Babbitt saddles on it, I mean, the sustain is way better than it was. And yeah, I used it forever, man. I used it for pretty much every show that I ever played. I was in a band for a couple of years, and it was just I couldn't find a reason not to play it. It was lightweight. I didn't have to worry about dropping it or somebody stealing it or anything, and it was unique. Definitely stood out on stage.
Yeah,
do you want to see? Do you want to see one that you have to worry about dropping?
Yes.
And that you have to worry about someone stealing?
Oh, wow.
This is the actual one. I got this December 92.
That's the EVH, right?
This is the actual E. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the real deal. I've had this since December 92. All original except the switch I replaced 2 or 3 times. I used to get them directly from Ernie Ball. And then this is an original Floyd from a Focus guitar, Focus Kramer. The original Floyd rusted up and was unuseful. Godo.
Oh, it's a Godo. Okay.
It was a Godo, the original, yeah. So.
And you purposely don't clean that fretboard. You like that, the look of that.
Well, I mean, I'll clean it every now and again, but I don't play it enough now. Like I really don't play this guitar much.
What did
these
that cost
days
when you bought it in '92? Like $2,000 or something, or?
No, less. They would retail for $1,750.
Wow.
So you would get them less.
Wow.
16 something. 15.
Well, that was a lot of money back then. It's like
back then it was an expensive guitar. You guys think this guitar is expensive now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. I mean, yeah. And then of course you do this. This is, what they have now, but there's some guys that are going to be drooling. I have the originals. Like this is the original strap. Like the strap that Eddie used. This is how that's where these came from, was from these. The Ernie Ball version.
So you bought the guitar and they gave you the strap with the guitar.
No.
Here's what I did with that.
No, they didn't.
Carbine
really?
Store.
Let's see.
Yeah, they usually come from the dollar store, and then I just use the DiMarzio clip locks on them.
Uh-huh. Oh, carabiners, yeah.
Yeah, it's even better than the dog leash one,
Mm-hmm.
And it matches.
40, get your grip ready for Johnny. Yeah. You guys want to know something? I told you guys earlier, I used to work at a store in Berkeley called Subway. I used to sell guitars to Green Day. This was years ago. I used to buy these. This is the original strap. Only the one side is like that. The other side is like this. Okay. So actually only this side you could actually hook one of these things to. The other side you'd have to like sew it. I used to buy these from Music Man for $15.
Wow. That's real.
I had 4 of them. I had 2 of the blue ones, which is the regular length, meaning the logo's blue. And then you could also get a red logo. Those were longer. You guys know how there's a longer version of these. There was a longer version of these as well. I used to buy these for $15 a piece. If I would have been smart about it, I just would have kept buying them, and I would have boxes of these. I only have the 2. I had sold the 2 red ones decades ago. I have 2 of these left. And I use them. I mean, this really was like a main strap for this guitar for a lot of years. Very comfortable. Very comfortable.
Did they say EVH on them anywhere, or they just say Ernie Ball?
No, they just say Ernie Ball. Yeah, it wasn't until later that they started doing the PV version, which was EVH.
Right.
And then, of course, the EVH version. But this is the actual one, and
looks like you had 5150 on there, but the 150 came off.
I did. Right. I tore it off. I did. I tore it off. I just left that.
5. It's just the 5 guitar.
The 5. Yeah, Johnny 5 is alive. Yeah. In this guitar, they're very unique. I mean, it has a very unique sound to it. The feeling, this is the neck. This is the Eddie Van Halen neck. I hate to say it, but all the ones they made afterwards, they're not the same. You could only the axes, the necks are not the same. They're not.
Thinner, fatter, what are they?
They're fatter. They're much fatter than these.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the access would have like the cut right here, which this doesn't.
Yeah, this one does.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah.
I think my flame looks better though.
Oh yeah, I've always hated the flame on mine. I always thought mine was horrible, but it sounds good. It has the tone.
Now those didn't come with detuners, right? That you added after the fact, right?
Hey, Babbitt's Guitars, welcome. You know those guys.
Yeah. They're cheap, aren't they? $1.99. Come on, you can do
$1.99. The lights didn't even trigger. Yeah. Babbitt's, thank you so much. No. This, like I said, this Floyd, this is an original Floyd from a Kramer Focus 1000. My first Kramer guitar. This came from the original Godot bridge from this guitar rusted because my hands get wet when I play. So these had all rusted shut. Like it was a nightmare changing strings on the original bridge. I couldn't do it anymore. So I think it was after I got back. I lived in Florida. I was working with Desmond Child. This was my main guitar. I remember Desmond seeing this guitar and thinking it was a really nice looking guitar. And then he would tell me stories about working with Eddie, which I think some of that stuff just came out. I think there's some news. We'll get to that. Desmond was interviewed and he talked about his time working with Van Halen, which he had told me years ago when I was in the studio with him. Anyway, so when I got back from Florida, I changed the original bridge to this, and it's been like this ever since.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Did you have to put the eye hole thingies in, or
yes?
This didn't come stock, right?
No.
Did you drill, or I just kind of put mine in and turned them till they stopped?
I just did it just by hand.
Yeah. I never. Yeah. It didn't make sense to drill.
People always ask if you need to drill, and you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
There we go. So that Babbitt's guitar.
Yes.
Is that those acoustics where the strings come over the bridge and then they separate to different like mounting things on,
the
on
acoustics.
the body of the
acoustics. Yeah, just for anybody that doesn't know.
I had one of those. I did a YouTube video on one of those.
Right. Yeah, they were cool. That was for anybody that doesn't know, but if you're here, you probably do know. Jeff Babbitt's was at Steinberger in the 80s, and he set up Eddie's guitar for him, the GL2T, and he actually had a really good relationship with him through the years, and I think it's pretty well known now. In 2015, when they were going to do what they call it, they were going to plan to do the kitchen sink tour that never came to fruition, but I remember Eddie reached out to Jeff Babbitt's and sent him his Steinberger and I believe a Les Paul and maybe a Wolfgang that all had trans trems that, needed to be set up, because Jeff Babbitt's is like the only guy left in the universe that knows how to set up trans trems properly and do fretwork correctly on Steinbergers. And so that was really cool for me, being 16 years old and my brother Jeff coming home and telling me, hey, the guy you really like on MTV, he's playing our guitars now. That's where it started.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And because when 5150 came out, they didn't really have any videos for it, right? They had Dreams, which was the Blue Angels.
That was a promotional video for the Blue for the Navy, for the Navy.
Yes, the Blue Angels.
Because when I was in school, they came to talk to us about the possibility of joining, and they showed us that video, and I was the only kid sitting there that knew what it was. I'm like, that's Van Halen.
Van Halen, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's really cool, because then I guess the first time we would have seen it, I didn't go to that tour, but when Live Without a Net came out, right, he was using it on Summer Nights and everything. That's, unless it was in magazines or something, but I don't remember any videos from 5150 really.
No, they purposefully didn't make any videos for the album. I think one reason was because they want people to come out and see them live. They want to come to the shows, but also I think they were boycotting making videos at the time. It wasn't just Van Halen. I think Journey was doing the same thing where they weren't making videos.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder why that would be. I mean, that seems like that was the main way to promote your albums back then, you know?
There's an article about it. I remember reading an article about it in Rolling Stone at the time, where they said they purposefully didn't do that. But you're right. So there was the Dreams video, but then what they did was, once Live Without a Net came out, they chopped it up, and they would show segments of that on MTV.
Right.
As videos.
Yeah, Best of Both Worlds, I think.
Best of Both.
Videos.
Love Walks In. Yeah. Why Can't This Be Love?
Summer Nights, I remember that was
maybe Summer Nights, whatever the singles were from the album. And also, I think there was the Video Music Awards where they went via satellite live to that show. And they actually performed Best of Both Worlds live. And it's that same show, though, but the footage, it's different angles.
Right.
And then in the middle of that is the Addicted to Love, which they had cut out of the home video release.
Van Halen played the Robert Palmer song?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
They play it in the middle of Best of Both Worlds. Yes.
Oh, did they play Celebration by
No.
That's what everybody says it was based off as well.
No. Although Kool and the Gang did open for Van Halen in 2012, and they did play Celebration. And the guitar player did play a Wolfgang.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was late for that show. I saw
everything connects here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey! You can close early.
I got it, guys.
Hey, look at that. Did you buy that or did you sell that?
I just bought it from him.
Who is that? Oh, that's Rock Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I came in for. Isn't that awesome?
Look at that. What guitar are you going to put in there? Do you have like a Jackson or something? BC Rich?
I got BC Riches too.
Dan Electro?
Might stick an Dan Electro in it. That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Thanks.
But to answer your question, Dane, yeah, that was many years later, the acoustics with the strings across the back. That was, they came out.
If you go deep into my channel from about a year ago, 18 months ago, I did a video on one of those. One came in, I bought it, I restrung it, sold it to Rock Daddy the very next day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did he like it?
And he just got a case for it.
Dude, I'll tell you the story real quick, and it kind of makes me sound like a capitalist pig, but this is what happens in this business. Guy brought in all these acoustic guitars, like a dozen of them, laid them all out on the ground, and you always ask the customer, well, what are you hoping to get out of everything? You don't start shooting offers out yourself. You always ask.
You lock them in.
What are you trying to? Well, I mean, you walked in here hoping to get money for these guitars. How much were you wanting? And the guy's like, "How's $400 sound? Is that too much?" I said, "No. Where's my wallet? 400's fine." Rock Daddy was standing here, and after the customer left, Rock Daddy's like, "Bro, I'll give you $400 just for the Babbitts right there." And I said, "Okay." So boom, made that transaction, and so all the other 10 guitars were then instantly paid for.
Oh wow, man!
I know I'm a capitalist pig.
But that's a great guitar because it's got an adjustable neck. The height on the neck adjusts up and down.
Yeah, you put a hex key and you can change the
High quality guitars.
Yeah,
play it like an electric.
I never seen one. I never seen one before.
Wow.
Spider.
Mm-hmm.
Spider, yeah, they called it the Spider, which I never liked that name because I told my brother a spider has 8 legs and the guitar has 6 strings. So where do you get Spider from?
Babbitt's
answer that.
Spider guitar.
Well, now you just bummed me out, man.
You want to sell it back? You want to sell it back to me now?
I need 2 more strings.
$300. Sell it back.
There you go.
Just put 2 more strings on it, then it can be a real Spider.
It's one of these?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, mine's got a natural top on it, but fantastic playing guitar.
Yeah, they were cool, man. And the reason that strings are fanned out across the back is because the guitar becomes more resonant instead of all the pressure, just pulling from the bridge. By having the strings fanned out, incorporating more of that wood top. So when you play it, it's a fuller sound. Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
And
We're very similar to that.
That all started with 5150 years prior, building
That's
that guitar
cool.
for Eddie.
I had no idea there was a
Wow.
connection there with that
Yeah.
Edward.
Yep.
Well, that has an Eddie connection.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Eddie didn't
my
play a
God.
whole lot of acoustics though, so I don't know. I don't even know what acoustics he ever did play. I just remember. I don't know. There was anytime he did when the 3 era when he was playing Josephina with Gary, he had a Wolfgang with what are the piezios or pies? What do you call those? That makes it sound like an acoustic.
Piezo.
Piezo.
Piezo, piezo, pasty. He started using those.
Tomato.
Potato. He started using the piezos during the Balance tour. He had one built into a Wolfgang when they were doing Can't Stop Loving You.
Oh, really?
When they would play that live. So it started there, and then when it went on to the 3 tour, he was using them, and then he actually did play. There are photos of him playing a PV acoustic live on the 3 tour.
I did see
as
that
well.
once. Yeah. Which they never were known for acoustic guitars, right? But
PV?
yeah.
It's funny. I was just at a Starbucks recently, and the girl that behind the counter, I was wearing a Guitar Center shirt. I told this story the other night. She's like, "Do you work at Guitar Center?" I'm like, "No, but I'm a YouTuber. I was live streaming at Guitar Center Hollywood." And she's like, "Oh, I just started playing the guitar, and I have a PV, but PV is not known for guitars. They're known for amps." And I couldn't believe she knew that because a beginner, maybe the salesperson told her that. Maybe.
Yeah. They don't.
I don't know.
Or her dad.
But PVs are known for guitars now because of the Wolfgangs.
That was the other big thing I remember when the 5150 amps came out. Everybody's like, "Oh man, why is he going with PV and blah 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 blah? Why isn't it Marshall?" And 30 something years later, everybody wants those block. What do they call them? Block letter first run 5150s. I mean, those things were ridiculous. Heaviest sound ever. And then I think PV kind of got away with. I don't know. Then they start making them somewhere else after a while, and they weren't made in Mississippi anymore. And I know they changed to 6505 and had the little mini ones and all that.
I think I've actually at the recent NAMM show, they actually just came out with a new version. I have the what do you call it from them in here.
He's got the NAMM brochure. That's what he's looking for.
Oh, okay.
In the guitar more. It's back there.
What is that? The guitar what?
The guitar more.
Oh, okay. Is that everything he has is in that one closet there?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Got all this stuff. Can't find the or is that it? No. Anyway, there's like all like these
Yeah.
things.
Oh my gosh, I had one of
Which-
those combos. I wish I never sold it. Oh,
I had one too for a while, and I had one too. Yeah, I had one as well, and I had to sell it to get a Fender amp for the band I was touring in at the time. Luckily, the one that I had, somebody had put casters on it, so I could just roll it around.
that combo sounded more. I mean, I was stupid because I got rid of that for the head and the cabinet, which was completely useless. I wish I had never done that. But that combo, I mean, you could plug into that. That was the sound. That sounded more like Eddie than the head or anything that I ever had.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it had the better clean tone.
Yeah, and it had built-in reverb.
Built-in reverb. Yeah, because the clean tone on the original amp, it's not clean.
Yeah, it was not.
It's really not clean.
Yeah.
It's really not. Then yeah, I've got all this stuff from back in the day. You know, the original PV. Actually, that's the original one right there.
Blue Mox. Blue Mox. He really likes the orange guitar. How much to ship it to Seattle? The guitar's $700, and I'll say ship plus tax with $60 in shipping. Probably you'll get it up to Seattle.
Oh,
you have to call me during the day. You have to call the store tomorrow during the day, and I can take your card over the phone.
And you have a phone number that he can call.
And
well, you have an address.
Right now, I don't know if all you guys know that, but Zim's Guitars Net, where you can look at pretty much all my inventory. We're trying to come up with it, but we got a customer of mine came in here, and he works for GoDaddy. And he's like, bro, I'll build you a custom website that's going to be just cream of the crop, right? And for $1,000 in-store credit. And I said, okay, do it. He took a really nice prestige that I had. But it was worth it. I have a website now. zimsguitars.net.
Nice. Yeah, we were looking at it the other day. I remember that. So look at that. So you may sell a guitar today or tomorrow.
Is it all? Are you an EVH dealer, or is it all used gear, pretty much, or what?
No, it's all used gear.
Do you have a reverb shop?
I'm a buy, sell, and trade shop. No, don't do reverb because I don't want to give them any of my money, and I don't get trade-ins that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jeremy. Yeah. Nice.
Is that what you want? I think so. What's your price tag?
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Tell her that's a really good deal for that guitar. Because it is.
He's getting the full tone MOSFET full drive 2 by Full Tone that recently went out of business, and these things are probably more than that. But that's how we do business around here. Thanks, buddy.
There's an older one over there that's probably worth more money because it's vintage.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Full Tone. Yeah, they've recently went out of business. So if you see a Full Tone, yeah. If you see any Full Tone stuff out at the pawn shops or something, you know, and you can talk them down, then, you know, I don't know how much of a difference it's making, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as price. Sometimes when, you know, pedal companies go out of business and things like that, the prices go back up.
Oh, sure.
There were two pedal
collectability.
companies like Boss and Dodd, and that was it. Back in the 80s, that's like all I.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ibanez.
Yeah,
I was
pedals were
one-
cool.
300.
back
I
in
could
the
only
day.
afford the Dodd,
Yeah, I had them all.
but I wanted the Boss.
Right, right.
See you, buddy. Oh,
My first pedal is the D. Well, is it DOD Dodd.
I
My
never
first
knew if it was Dodd or DOD.
in the chat. What is it? Dodd or DOD? My
I always
first
tell
Dodd
people
pedal is the hard rock
I always say
distortion. I still have it.
DOD. It's the initials. It's DOD.
DOD. I had the American metal, the FX56 American metal.
The purple one.
I think
Yeah, it was
I
kind of
think
purple.
I have one of
yeah.
those.
I think I had
one
four
of
of them lined up in a row, and that's kind of how I learned to play, because I had a Tokai Strat with single coils, and through a PV keyboard amp. So I just thought if I put like 7 distortion pedals in a row, I'll sound like Eddie. And so I play really fast and then turn the volume down. Play really fast, turn the volume down, because the second I stopped playing, it just screamed.
Yeah.
It was good marketing. All those pedals, they kind of sounded the same, but they played on our emotions. Like, wow, this one's yellow, this one's red, this one's purple, and we have to have all these colors because they look cool. Okay.
I had a paper route back then, and I remember thinking I can get a new pedal every month.
That's exactly what I worked at Bradley's. I don't know if you guys had a Bradley's out there. It's kind of like the precursor to Walmart and Target. And I'd get my paycheck, and it was like $72, and I'd run down to Sal's Music in Wappingers Falls, and I didn't even know what I was buying. I'm like, what pedals do you have that I can afford? And that was it. The paycheck was gone, and I had a new pedal. Those were good days. I wish I could still do that.
So are you following Blue Mox or Marks?
Blue Mox
in the Blue Mox? You see what he said?
Oh,
right. He's advised, I guess, his wife or his girlfriend a few things.
Oh, wait a minute.
Geez, he got a partner, and so in order to get something for yourself, then the better half gets a few things. So he's gonna just have to buy her a few things. Yeah. And he said,
wow.
Sweet, we worked it out. I'll contact you tomorrow.
And that's for the orange 5150 series.
When I'm giving her. Yeah.
Dude. See, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, for years, we tried doing that. Like, Dane, show that guitar. Maybe you can sell it. You just did. Almost. Well, tomorrow. We'll never see them again after tonight.
I know.
Blue Mox, buy me one too.
He's gonna be like, man, I'm afraid to go on that Johnny Beane show because I told that Dane guy that I was going to buy that guitar, and then I wasn't allowed to, and now I'm afraid to go back and show my face on the Johnny Beane chat.
Well, he's a channel member. He's a channel member, so
don't feel obligated to buy it. Just I'm saying. Call
Yeah.
me tomorrow. That'd be great. That'd be great. Don't.
And if
feel
you can't
obligated.
buy it for you, you can always buy it for me
Pressure.
or Eric.
That'd be great.
Yeah, don't let the peer pressure.
We would
from
love
the
one
chat.
of those.
Yeah, it would match my skin.
Yeah.
Orange.
Now he's getting. Now he's just having fun.
Gotta pay the wife with fate. Wait a minute.
Oh, he's getting. That's.
I don't understand. I don't understand that comment. What does that mean? Okay.
You see that comment? I never knew that. DOD stands for the company's co-founder, David O. DeFrancesco.
Oh,
How about that? Mike Neese to the rescue.
I never knew that. Where is that? Mike Neese.
It's 1986. Now I know.
So those are David O pedals.
And then they were bought out by Digitech, right? And out of Salt Lake City. And I think they're still in business, right? Digitech.
We just saw them at the NAMM show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I will be at the NAMM show this January. Dane might be there too.
I haven't decided yet.
Or not.
I'm going to be spontaneous this year. If I'm in the mood, then I'll do it. If not, and I've already been too long to my membership. They keep sending me texts. Oh, you blew it, dude. You waited too long. You're not a member anymore.
You're out of the club.
Yeah. So I might have to ask one of my good buddies that's going if they got an extra ticket or something. Like Laz, maybe, or John
Drive
Beane.
down with Laz.
There you go.
Have Laz
with
swing.
Laz.
Actually, I might be driving down with Laz or not, depending on if he's taking an intern or two. But Dane, you got to be there. Because the last time I saw you there, you're like, Johnny, I'm too tired. I'll see you later, and that was it.
There you go, right? That brand new Joe Bonamassa. I don't care. I got him basically for free, so a couple of bucks.
What?
Rock Daddy's buying CDs that I got out of the storage locker. Django Reinhardt, Joe Bonamassa, the Vaughan brothers, Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Eagles' greatest hits. Man, that's overplayed. Doyle Dykes,
Oh yeah.
Joe Walsh, and Eric Johnson.
Hey, I met Doyle Dykes in Tennessee in a little guitar shop. Here's $12. That's what I got.
Thanks, buddy.
Anyway,
Thank you.
yeah, I was playing a guitar, and Doyle Dykes walks in. I didn't know who he was. He sat down next, picked up a guitar, and started playing. And I just quietly just set mine back up on the wall and slid away like, holy shit, I'm not playing against Doyle Dykes.
I never heard of Doyle Dykes.
Oh, God, he's great. He's one
I've heard of him.
Shredder. Is it all clean?
He's like, I think he does lessons too.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember him in like guitar magazines doing guitar lessons.
He's from like
Doyle,
the 80s or something?
Doyle
Check to make
Dykes.
sure- Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's not even in there.
Oh!
Races?
It's an MP3.
What's that? Make sure the shit's all in
Yeah,
there.
you should check all those.
That's all right.
You gave him his money back? You should have waited till he left and locked the door.
I know, huh?
You can include that case with the guitar that you just sold.
Joe Walsh is in there. That Joe Bonamassa is sealed.
Yeah, it's brand new. It's Eric Johnson's. There. Good. I'm good. We're fine.
Okay.
You can keep the case.
It was the only one. It's the only one that didn't have a. There was only one of them that didn't have anything in there.
Mm-hmm. The Doyle Dykes?
Yeah, it's the one that was missing.
Now we'll never know what he sounds like.
Johnny, I had a question. You had mentioned Eddie was working with Desmond Child. I had never heard
Yeah.
of what era was that?
That was 96.
So
Era.
after Balance and before 3.
After Balance, before 3. It was during the greatest hits.
Oh,
Best of Volume 1.
With what the heck was it? With the 2 Roth songs that they did.
Me Wise Magic.
Can't get
This Stuff No More.
And Humans Being.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that
Well, actually,
Me
Humans
Wise
Being was
Magic.
before that. Actually, let's see. Van Halen News Desk actually talked about that. And everybody is messaging me this story, telling me about this, because everybody knows that I used to live with Desmond Child. So let's pull this up. By the way, guys, smash that thumbs up, and we're giving away a Life magazine tonight. We're all out of Doyle Dykes CDs, but we're giving.
Got the cases though.
We got the case. We're giving this magazine away. If you want to win this, all you got to do is participate in the chat, like Bill Wyatt, like Nightbot, like Zach Thong, like Lewis, like Peggy, like Janice. Janice, if you can meet me in LA, we'll go to the NAMM show. Maybe Laz will pick you up. All right. Look at this. Let's look at this. And truthfully, I haven't even seen this yet. Although everybody keeps sending this to me. Share screen. This will be good. All right. Check this out, you guys. This is very interesting. I've told you guys for years As long as I've been doing these shows, I've been telling you guys that Desmond Child did work with Van Halen because I was there. Well, technically I wasn't there, but Desmond had told me that personally decades ago when I'd be recording in his studio. He'd be telling me stories about, when Eddie was blah, blah, blah. And that would get me fired up to play. So Desmond Child reveals how David Lee Roth blocked him from writing songs for Van Halen. Very interesting. And again, I haven't seen this yet, so this is new to me. For nearly 3 decades, producer Desmond Child has he's been one of the music's most successful hit makers for all the biggest bands like Bon Jovi, Kiss, Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Rat, Joan Jett. I've told you guys this for years now. I've told you guys this a million times. According to Child, Van Halen could have been another band on his resume, but David Lee Roth prevented that from happening. Child was a recent guest on the Darren Palterwitz, I know who Darren is, on his podcast. And why is that so much lighter? That's hard to read. That's really light. Let's see. That's actually really hard to read. I don't know why the text is so light. I think what he's saying, though, is Roth came in and is like, what are you doing here? Yeah, this is my first time reading this. Although when I talked to Desmond, he did tell me that him and Eddie did write together. They did actually work together. And it needs ink. This is the internet. This is a website. Why is that so light? That's so weird.
So what would he have been working on now? Just like with the songs that they were going to do with Roth for that greatest hits, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He came in to write songs with Eddie. And according to this, David Lee Roth put a stop to it. Last time I spoke with you, Darren is saying, you told me a great story about how David Lee Roth you had a meeting and he told you, do you want to see what I'm all about? And he brought in a stripper who did a striptease. Desmond Child says it was 2 strippers in spiked heels, overcoats, like spies and fedoras, black hats. Pretty soon the hats went off, the coats went off. I don't think the heels ever came off, but they were...
No. Leave them on.
Withering on the floor like a couple of snakes. Let's see. Desmond says after his meeting with Roth, after their meeting, Roth never called him back. Whatever. Then I got to try going to write a song with Eddie and the guys in the band. And guess who drives up there almost like he knew the session was happening? David Lee Roth in a convertible. He drives up there and we were sort of getting it together to go into the house or into the studio to write up at the house. All of a sudden he's there, meaning David Lee Roth was there, in the middle of all that, and the fact is we couldn't have our session. So apparently Roth came and he busted up the session between Desmond Child and Eddie Van Halen. Okay, that's interesting.
It was Eddie's house, though.
It was at his house, yeah.
The studio.
Yeah.
It was rather rude of David.
There's Desmond. There's Darren. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting because, I do remember Desmond telling me that he did write with Eddie, though. So that must have been like another time. He actually did work on a song with Edward, and the song title was either called Blood from a Stone or Blood from a Rock. It was either one of those titles.
Did they record? It wasn't recorded at all, or is it a demo version or anything floating around?
Not that I know of, but I think the song eventually, this is just what I think. It might not be totally true. I think the song ended up being a song called That's Why I Love You.
Oh, that's on 3.
which was going to be on 3, but
Right,
was
it
left
wasn't.
off.
And then Eddie gave it to Mitch Malloy.
And then Mitch Malloy
recorded a version of it called "It's the
recorded
Right
a version of it, and I actually asked him some questions on Facebook about this. And he seemed kind of defensive about me asking him about this. He's like, "You don't know what you're talking about." It was kind of weird. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah.
No, I've had a few interactions with Mitch. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was very, yeah. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I lived with Desmond, and Desmond told me how basically he was with Eddie at 5150, and as he was he showed Eddie one of Mitch's music videos. Mm-hmm. And when Desmond was leaving 5150, he called Mitch and said, I want you to try it for Van Halen. And so he was the connection for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I asked Mitch about that stuff on Facebook, he got really defensive.
Yeah.
And was really weird. So
But
I think, and Mitch, if you're watching this, come on the show, man. I'd love to talk to you about this. But I think the song that Mitch recorded over, that was a demo that I think Van Halen kind of sent everybody. Everybody they were trying out, that was a piece of music. Because if you listen to it, there's no guitar solo on it.
Right.
The Mitch Malloy version of that song, which I think he titled it, It's About
Right
Time.
It's the Right Time.
Or it's the right time. Yeah. So, but anyway, when I was living at Desmond's house, he did tell me stories about working with Edward, and so that did happen. But it looks like maybe another time David Lee Roth showed up and busted up the session. So that's pretty interesting.
That is. I never knew that. I never, and that just came out on. I mean, I know you knew it, but that just came out on the Van Halen News Desk today, or this week, or.
This week.
Wow. Okay.
Last week, I
Cool.
think late last week that came out. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
A lot of people don't realize that we were talking about this on the Van Halen forums that, like I know Desmond from Bon Jovi, because Bon Jovi being right up the street from me,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they remember Slippery When Wet, and they kind of think that Bon Jovi was always that big. And they really weren't. The first 2 albums really didn't do a lot. And I think even in the interviews, that the third one is like, all right, guys, we got to bring somebody in to help you out. And that was, and he wrote You Give Love a Bad Name and Living on a Prayer. And that really kind of saved Bon Jovi. I don't think they might have, without Desmond's help, they might have just been, Trickster or something. I don't know.
That I think, well, I mean, I had that album when I was a kid. I remember the name Desmond Child. Before I met him, I knew his name. I had never seen him. This is, when I knew him, this was when the internet first was happening. This was 1998.
Right.
When I was living at his house. So I didn't know what he looked like. My story is that I get a call from some band in Florida one morning. I woke up. And they're like, "Hey, you don't know me, but I'm in a band, and we're working with Desmond Child. We want you to come down." I was living out here, so I basically flew from California to Florida to work with them. So I fly out, just taking a chance on some faxes. Desmond had faxed over his catalog. It was like this.
Wow.
And I'm looking through it, and it's like, like a list of songs, like. So many bands.
Right.
Megadeth, he wrote for. Joan Jett. What's the Joan Jett song? I Hate Myself for Loving You.
Loving You,
That's
the
that's
NFL
Desmond.
uses that song forever. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Cher.
If I Could Turn Back Time, right? Didn't he write that, I think?
that was a Diane Warren song. She was another writer who actually he used to talk to on the phone. I'd be there in the lounge, and he'd be on the phone talking to Diane. So anyway, so like I took a chance to go and meet with him, and I did. It wasn't until I walked into his house and saw the gold records and all that. He had gold records for Bon Jovi. If you guys remember Hanson, band called
Yes.
Hanson.
Mbop, 1997.
Yeah, he wrote a song for them called Weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's called Weird. Bon Jovi, Kiss. And then when I was there, that's when he was working with Ricky Martin, Livin' La Vida Loca. They had already done a song called The Cup of Life, which was used, I think, for the Olympics somehow, like maybe over there. Ricky Martin, he wasn't really known in the U.S.
Menudo, right?
From Menudo.
Yeah.
He wasn't really that known. Like when I left there and came back to California, I remember telling my friends, I'm like, you guys are about to hear about this guy, Ricky Martin. And they're like, who? And then next thing you know, yeah, it was everywhere. But I used to let Ricky into the house when he would come over.
Oh, did Desmond write Livin' La Vida Loca?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And another former member of Menudo. Robbie Rosa, I think is his name.
Hey guys, I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes. See you later, man. Congratulations on selling the guitar tomorrow and selling those CD cases and the case.
Okay. Bye, guys.
See you later, man. Zims. There we go. There we go. You guys, smash that thumbs up. We only got 33 thumbs up, so we got 64 people here. By the way, we're giving away a Life magazine. If you'd like to win this, participate in the chat. Say hi. Ask us questions, comments. Yeah, so it wasn't until I walked into the house and I saw the records on the wall and stuff, and I met the guy. The first thing he said to me was, "Are you tired? Are you hungry? Do you want some food?" I remember he said, "Do you want something to eat?"
That was very
tired.
polite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Awesome. And I've seen him a few times since out here in California. I've seen him. I saw him at an ASCAP convention in Hollywood one year, where he was given an award, and I saw him there, and I saw him out here. He made he was in a documentary about his kids. He has these two sons, and there was a documentary about them, and I went to a film screening of that in San Francisco, and he was there with his kids, and we went out to eat afterwards, and I talked to him. And
very cool.
So that was about 8-9 years ago. But I've talked to him since, here and there. Yeah, here and there.
Now, did he write some of the stuff on Permanent Vacation for Aerosmith, or was it later on?
He did What It Takes.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was that stuff. Yeah,
I think that's on there. There might have been another one, maybe. Since then, he worked with Katy Perry. Speaking of that, Katy Perry has a song called "Waking Up in Vegas." That's a Desmond Child song. And speaking of Vegas, see, all this stuff ties in, Eric.
Wow.
I will be in Las Vegas for TwitchCon October 18th through the 24th. You guys remember when I went to Beverly Hills and I was live streaming? I'll be doing the same thing from Las Vegas. But here's the trick. I'll be there for what's called TwitchCon. It's a Twitch convention. So I'll be streaming from my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Johnny Beane. I'll be streaming from the convention on Twitch. But I'll also be streaming here on YouTube and Facebook from Las Vegas. Like, let's say at music stores, guitar stores. What's that store I was going to go to? That other one?
Pawn Stars, right?
Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Pawn Stars as well on YouTube here. So make sure to tune in. October 18th. That's a month. Yeah. In 1 month, I will be in Las Vegas. So if you'd like to get my Twitch streams, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Johnny Beane. Some of you guys are already over there, and you guys can tell them it's a pretty cool place. So yeah, Las Vegas. Katy Perry had a song "Waking Up in Vegas." That's a Desmond Child song. He's written for Leanne Rimes. He's written for so many people. He was actually on what's the American Idol. He was actually a guest host on American Idol one time as well.
What the band that you were in, did you guys record anything or didn't get that far or what?
When I was there, it was all demos.
Okay.
It was writing with Desmond, all demos, which I still have. I would be recording in Desmond's home studio, which he called the Gentleman's Club. He had his main house where he had a studio. I lived down. This was in a court. You could walk down the street to the corner. He had another house that he was building into a home studio and an office. I lived in that house. So I didn't actually live in his main house. I was in a house just around the corner from there. This was in Miami Beach, Florida.
Somebody said he wrote some Rat tunes, wasn't it? You're giving yourself away, I think.
He wrote for Rat.
Yeah.
I think that the Way Cool Jr. Is that a Desmond song? It might be. Maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, he wrote for a lot of people. While I was there, every day was just like a circus. It was insanity. And it was
in Miami or
being at Desmond's house, Miami.
Okay, yeah.
Everybody in Miami is a model. I don't know if that's how it is now, but when I was there, you'd go out. Every night we would go out. Models everywhere you go. Every club, everywhere. And we were, a band walking around, promoting what we were doing. And everybody in Florida, everybody in Miami knew who Desmond was.
Right.
Everywhere we would go, he would be with us. And we'd get into any restaurant, whatever we wanted. Oh, you're Desmond Child? Right this way.
Right.
Arby's,
anything like high-end ones, right? Not the ones that we go to, probably high-end ones, right?
It was all high-end stuff. We would go to this was Miami Beach. We would go to part of town. It was called Washington. Is that anybody here from Miami? Do you remember Miami Beach? Washington. I forget. All these restaurants. Washington something is what it was called.
When was that?
But
96, 90, or 95, or what year?
This was 98.
98, okay.
I was there for pretty much 1998 is when I was there. So I was there. So that's what's really bizarre for me is I was there when Van Halen 3 was released.
February of 98, right?
March.
Was it March?
I think March of 98.
Okay.
I think it came out. I remember the day I bought it and everything. But so I'd be driving around. I bought a car from one of Desmond's like one of his assistants. I bought a car from this guy. His name was Lewis. And so I would drive around in this car and I'd be listening whatever was new at the time. There's a band called Garbage. They had a new record. They had a song. That song. I'm Only Happy When It Rains, or Stupid Girl, Paranoid. All those songs. Garbage had a record called 2.0 that came out when I was in Miami. So I would be listening to that. I'd be listening to Hole. Courtney Love's Hole. She had a record called Celebrity Skin. See, this was all, Pearl Jam. So this is all the type of stuff I'd be listening to, like the band that I was in working with Desmond. That's the era, type of stuff. So, but anyway, when Van Halen 3 came out, that's when I was there. So I'd be riding around listening to Van Halen 3. I didn't get to see the Van Halen tour that year because I was playing shows myself with, working with Desmond.
Cantrell opened up when I saw them on that tour in Charlotte. I was living in North Carolina in 98 and Cantrell opened up for Van Halen. That was amazing. Gary was, whatever people think of that album, and I actually like it. A lot of people think it sucks, but I always like that album. But I'm an Eddie fan. I mean, you could be singing, and I would love it. I could, it doesn't matter as long as Eddie's playing guitar. But that tour was amazing, because they brought out a lot of the old stuff that they hadn't played for years, and it was really, really great show. I'm glad that I saw that in '98, it was summer of '98, I think.
Yeah.
Did you like it or not? Or
no, I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it, but for me, it's when I listen to it, it's very strange because it totally takes me back to Miami. It totally takes me back to working with Desmond when I hear that record. Anything I hear off that, and it's funny because that guitar I showed you, that Music Man guitar, that was my main guitar when I was there.
Right.
Desmond saw that guitar. There was this guy I actually replaced. Well, the guy, he wasn't in the band, but he was writing with the band before I got there. You might know him. There was a band called the Hooters in the 80s.
From Philadelphia. Yeah, all you zombies.
From Philadelphia.
Eric something or other.
Eric Bazillion.
Yes, yeah. He wrote.
I worked with Eric.
Lauper too, I think.
He's the guy. See, you guys, there's a lot of history here. Yeah, Eric Bazillion. He's the guy that sang backup with Cyndi Lauper on a song called Time After Time.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the guy that played the guitar for Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah.
That's Eric Bazillion. I worked with him. When I got to Miami, he was working with Desmond because he had worked with Desmond with a singer named Billy Myers. She had a song called Kiss the Rain. You guys can look it up. That was a Desmond Child, Eric Bazillion's track. Billy Myers was the artist, and she went off to do the Lilith Fair. And the band that I was in, while I was working with Desmond, we would rehearse in her guitar player's house while he was off on tour with Billy. Okay, so there'd be times we'd be watching The Tonight Show, Jay Leno. And the artist is Billy Myers, and the guitar player on the stage there is the guy we were rehearsing in his house. Okay? So, anyway, yeah, see, I told you, there's like so much stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Hooters, man, they were a big-time Philly band, and they're actually still touring. I watched a couple of videos. They sound amazing. I mean, they sound exactly like they played, was it the melodica? Was that the thing? It was like a little keyboard with a thing.
Eddie.
And it was
they had the little thing you blow into it. You blow into it. I think maybe Eric was the one playing that maybe, and then he played the and We Danced is the one that had the mandolin.
Yep, mandolin.
The mandolin. Yeah, And We Danced was probably their biggest hit. Yeah. I think they had a song called Johnny something too.
Right.
But yeah, if you guys remember the Hooters, And We Danced, or better yet, you guys, did I meet her? Her name was something Osborne.
Joan Osborne?
Joan Osborne. Did I meet her? I might have met her. I think I met her, actually. Yeah, she was there at Desmond's because Eric did a song with her called One of Us.
What if God was one of us?
What if God was one of us? And you guys would know that because the song was featured in the movie Austin Powers, where the guy's playing the little toy piano and he's singing the song, the bald guy. Right? Doctor whatever?
Yeah, Mike Myers was an actor.
Yeah, Mike Myers.
Yeah.
He sings that song. That song was written by the guy that I replaced. See, all this stuff connects. It's crazy. It's craziness. But anyway, yeah. What was I going to say, though? Eric Bazillion, he played my Music Man guitar. He played it. He loved it. He told me a story. Take it back to Van Halen. He met Eddie at like the Grammys when he was there with Joan Osborne for One of Us. Mm-hmm. Eddie asked Eric how he played the song on guitar. Because the thing is, Eric Bazillion, I should get him on the show. I should actually contact him. I should try to get him because I knew him. Janice, send me a tweet. Janice, tag me and Eric Bazillion on Twitter. We got to get him on the show. Okay. He was still is really good at finger picking. He would do all this amazing finger picking stuff, and I had to learn this stuff because he was recording the demos with the band that I joined before I got there. Mm-hmm. So I remember sitting in my room. We had a show that night. We were going to perform this song. I had to learn it, and I'm sitting there like, oh, how do I do it? Because I can't finger pick. Now I can. I learned. Because of that, I learned how to do it.
Right.
But I remember that. Eric Bazillion. That's right, Mike Neese. That's right.
Yeah, and like I said, they're still touring. I mean, I don't know if they're touring nationwide, but they're playing locally around here, and they sound fantastic.
Let's get Eric Bazillion on the show.
You want Mitch Malloy too? I can get him for you.
Try to get him. Like I said, when I talked to him on Facebook, he seemed really defensive about. He's like you don't know what you're talking about, and it was like really kind of weird.
Yeah,
it was really strange.
I'll talk to him. I'll see if he's interested in it.
Do you know him?
Well, he was an endorser of Babbitt's hardware.
Oh, okay.
So my brother's pretty close with him. I've texted back and forth with him a few times, and don't
tell him I'm the guy from Facebook.
No. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's just like you said. I mean, sometimes when you're texting, things come out wrong or chatting or whatever, and sometimes it's easier to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. But he may be interested in it. He's not in Great White anymore. I don't believe he did. We could tie it in because he was doing the Van Halen experience with Pete Thorne. And that was a great show, and he said that I thought he said there was going to be more of that. I haven't seen it yet, but that was a really good show. I don't know if you saw that. I think they did that in Florida somewhere.
I just saw some stuff off YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier to get than Sammy or than Dave.
Well, I have connections to both, so
yeah.
But yeah,
all
I know.
Three on at the same time. That would be fun, and we could just.
And Gary.
Yeah. Gary wouldn't want any part of it. He would just bow out.
I actually, well, I'm not going to say on air, but I'll tell you off air some stuff. But yeah, man. Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be cool. But what was I even? So yeah, Van Halen 3. When I was working with Desmond, that's when Van Halen 3 came out. So anytime I listen to anything off Van Halen 3, it totally takes me back to that era.
What's
and
your
being
favorite
there.
song off that album?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like Fire in the Hole.
Yeah, because that's the one that sounds the most like maybe
that's a Trans Trem one, right?
Yeah, I think
it is.
Yeah, he had a couple Wolfgangs outfitted with Trans Trems, and that's one
I
think Jeff restored for him in 2015.
Scott, thank you so much. You guys, yeah, I've got so much stuff. I don't, like I told you guys, I mean, it's awesome having a show like this where you can like tell all these stories and stuff, because nobody believes me about any of this stuff either.
I believe you.
But I can tell you guys this. But yeah, no, like looking for bands, at least back in the day. Now I've got this show. Yeah, it's a different story now. But back in the day, before YouTube, all this, people would contact me or I'd audition for bands. I'd tell them, I worked with Desmond Child.
Right.
Either they were like, who? Or they were like, so what? Most people didn't know who he was back a long time ago. Now more people know who he is.
We learned so much from that you can look anything up. I often wonder how we lived before the internet. Like I actually had to go to a library and take out a book and
That's how I knew about how we were talking earlier about Van Halen not making videos for the 5150 album. Because when I was in grade school, I mean, that was actually a few years after that, I remember going through Rolling Stone magazines at the school library, and everything Van Halen, I would actually cut out. Don't tell anybody. I would actually cut all the Van Halen stuff out of the magazine and take them home.
And now there's some kid looking for that, and it's gone. And he doesn't.
Now there's Rolling Stone magazines at some school I went to years ago, and you open it up, and it's like it's just cutouts.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I knew that was from doing that. You know, digging back and reading those magazines and stuff. Oh yeah, library. Going to the library.
Yeah, I used to read those all the guitar magazines. I'd read front to back. I mean, just the articles, all that there was, like, remember that guy like Mark Hawk or something? They would have like metal methods, and you could pay for videos, and some of them used to come with little records. Remember that? Like they had the one that like from Crossroads. The guitar with Steve Vai.
Was it Guitar Player?
Yeah,
Guitar Player would come out with those little floppy records. They were one-sided. Yep. You would have to place a coin on the record to keep it balanced to play.
And Ralph Macchio smoked Steve Vai, and I used to listen to that and be like, wow, I didn't realize he was that good, but he's better than Steve Vai.
Well, the guy that played Ralph Macchio's parts actually used to come into the shop I used to work at in Berkeley. His name's Ry Cooter. His name's Ry Cooter.
He played all the slide stuff in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. And he used to come into the shop. So I met him, and I knew him from that movie, Crossroads. Yeah,
that was a watershed moment, that movie, when because my brother that was on with you guys Saturday night or Friday night, he actually went to Berkeley. He's the same age as Steve Vai, and they were at Berkeley for the same time together for a while, and before he went to go play with Zappa. Vai, not my brother. He didn't play with Zappa. But he used to come home, and I was, 11, 12 years old, and he'd be like, remember the name Steve Vai? I'm like, why? He goes, he's going to be the biggest guitar player in the world. He's not Van Halen. And then when Crossroads came out, it was all kind of tied together. Crossroads and then Eat 'Em and Smile, all kind of like within a year, right? And everything was Vai, and Satriani, remember, with the Surfing with the Alien, and that was, Racer X, Paul Gilbert. Cue the Paul Gilbert pick.
I'm looking for it. I was looking for the Vai clip, because I have a clip of Vai too.
Is that Nuno with you too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He looks pretty pissed off.
Yeah. No, we snapped a couple of photos.
Oh, okay.
I was walking. The way you guys have always wondered, the way this selfie happened was I was at the NAMM show. I was walking, and Gilbert was walking in front of me, and he walked up to Nuno, and he says hi to him, and I walk up, and I'm like, hey, can I get a selfie? And I squeezed in there and snapped a couple. There's actually a couple shots of this. This is just one of them. There's another one as well.
What year was that?
2015, 16.
You look like a little kid. You look like Radar from MASH in that picture.
Well, the thing is, I would wear that jacket. That jacket I would wear to the NAMM show all the time, because of the pockets. See, this is another time with Michael Anthony. Yeah. See, those pockets. It has like 1 million pockets in it, and so I could carry all my batteries from my phone and stuff.
Ammunition, clips. 16.
All my stuff. Yeah. So every time you'd see me at the NAMM show, 9 times out of 10, I'm wearing that jacket. Which, by the way, I'll be at the NAMM show this January, and I'll probably be wearing that jacket.
You have to now.
I know. I don't think I'll be wearing it at a TwitchCon, because it'll be 100 degrees in Las Vegas, October 18th. Follow me on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, Steve Vai, man. Where's that clip? I have a clip with him. Oh, yeah, right here. This one.
Johnny. Hey, Johnny. I'm over here.
Over where?
Over here, Johnny. Hey, Johnny. How you doing? This is Steve.
Oh, whoops. So that's just... I actually have like a few minutes of that video. That's just like him saying, hi, Johnny, this is Steve. The rest of the video, he's talking to me about Desmond Child.
Oh, wow.
Because he worked with Desmond. Desmond was his manager. I'll show you guys the rest of the video at some point. If you guys remind me, drop comments below once this is a video on demand. Say, Johnny, we want to see the rest of the Steve Vai video. I'll upload it. The rest of the video, he's talking to me about how he couldn't believe I lived at Desmond's house. And I've told you guys this stuff for years, you know. But yeah, Steve Vai, Desmond was his manager as well. And Desmond actually...
what time period? Like Passion and Warfare era, like 91 or after that?
Later than that. Alien Love Secrets.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look at the cover of the album, that's actually Desmond's idea about having him painted in all silver.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he did. I thought he was just a writer. I didn't know he managed artists as well.
No, he wrote for a lot of people. He managed a lot. I mean, he managed me. He managed me and Steve Vai, you guys. No, he managed a lot of people. Now he's a parent. You know, he has kids. Although they're grown up now. When I met them, I met them as babies, actually, and I met them when they were little. Mm-hmm. When they did the documentary. But yeah, they're grown up now. I think they're going to college. And their godfather is John Bon Jovi.
Oh, wow. John Bon Jovi, yeah.
Bon Jovi. I met his brother. Do you know his brother?
Oh, how are Matt? You talking about Matt?
Is it Matt? Matt or Mike?
Matt is the younger brother. It's funny you said that because of all my, I'll tell my dumb story first, and then when I was in college, I was a bouncer at a club in Seabright, which was right across the river, the bridge from Rumson, where they all lived, which is rich area there. But Seabright was just like a blue collar town, and I was the doorman at a bar, and Matt came in with all these girls. This was summer of 1995. And the owner was very adamant that I always got 2 forms of ID from people. And Matt came in and he gave me his license and it said, Matt Bon Jovi. And I obviously knew who he was, but I just felt like being a jerk. So I said, you got another form ID on you? And he got so mad. He took out, they had a Visa card with the, the side picture of their private jet that said Bon Jovi on it. And he stuck it in my face. He goes, that ID enough for you? I said, oh, yeah, okay, cool, man. No worries. But, yeah, he used to come in the club all that. He's tall and skinny and stuff. He doesn't look anything like John.
I just found him online. I'm going to try to get in touch with him. Yeah, because I met him. I was at his house during this time. Yeah. Yeah, Desmond introduced us to their mom. I met her, and it was a very weird experience because my name is John, well, Johnny, but John. She starts telling us stories about her son, John Bon Jovi, and she's like yelling at him, and she turns to me and starts yelling at me like I'm him. It was very weird. It was very weird. And then what happened was after our meeting with her, she turned to walk away and she fell. Oh, God. And she fell right on the ground and we had to help her up.
Oh my gosh.
It was very weird. Yeah, this was 1998. And then after that, I remember, I don't know why, but we went over to Matt. It's Bon Jovi? Is it?
Bongiovi.
Matt Bon Jovi.
Italian, Bon Jovi, yeah.
Bon Jovi. We went to his house. And I think it was him and I guess maybe a girlfriend, maybe his wife at the time or something. I don't know. But I remember being at his house and meeting him. So, yeah. So I met him. I met the mom. Never met John.
In New Jersey, we have the Garden State Parkway, which is the main road that runs north to south. And there's the rest areas. And they used to just have names and they named them all after famous people from New Jersey now. And the one up the street is actually called the John Bon Jovi Rest Area. Mm-hmm. When it's the signs on there, every time my brother goes home, he takes a picture, John Bon Jovi Rest Area. And there's like a holograph of John in there and everything. And he's a legend here. Everybody has a fish story, a Bon Jovi fish story. for here. All I have is that I gave his brother a hard time getting into a club. That's as close as I got to him.
Wow.
And I saw them in '92 with Jeff Healey opening up. Remember Jeff Healey, the guy from Roadhouse,
Yeah.
the blind guitarist who passed away a few years ago? That was a really good show. At the Spectrum, to take it to Van Halen, which was where the Panama video was filmed. At the Spectrum.
No way.
Yeah.
And to take it to Van Halen again, I was at the NAMM show, which, by the way, you guys, if you're just tuning in, I'll be at the NAMM show this January. The end of January. I'll be there. Oh, and by the way, help us to get to 10,600. I forgot to say that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 10,600 YouTube subscribers. I was at the NAMM show one year, and I was walking, and it was dark. I was like outside, and I don't know how I knew, but the guy walking towards me was one of the guitar players in Bon Jovi.
Phil X or something? Or
it wasn't Phil X. It was
Bobby
the other
Bandieri?
guy.
Is it Bobby
Huh?
Bobby Bandieri?
No.
What year was it?
Oh, recent. 4 years ago.
I'm surprised it wasn't Phil X or Bobby Bandieri or Hugh McDonald, the bass player. Or...
It wasn't him. It was what's his in the chat? What's his name? Anyway, they worked with him when they were doing a different kind of truth. There we go. Thank you, Johnny Rock. John Shanks. John Shanks is the guy. So I walked right past him, and as I got to him, I said, "John," and I scared him. He jumped, and I'm like, "Hey, Van, I'm good to meet you." And then we shook hands and left.
Right.
But he plays guitar in Bon Jovi now,
okay.
along with Phil X.
Okay. Until Richie decides to come back, if he does.
Is that happening? I saw some news saying Richie's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be cool. I always thought those guys were kind of a team, like Eddie and Dave or Eddie and Sam. Sometimes you just, I don't know. Sometimes the band has to have the guitar player that you recognize, and I know a lot of people don't care about that.
Well, but he had a voice too.
Oh yeah, Richie was.
I mean, he was like Michael Anthony and Van Halen, the background sound. Richie, had that voice for Bon Jovi as well.
Yeah, very, very different kind of, probably even more commercial than John's voice. He could have, but yeah, I think he still tours, right? He was doing with Orianthi or whatever that girl's name is for a while. But yeah, I see that the stories that come up, you don't know if they're real or fake anymore. The stories are like, world reacts to Richie Sambora eating breakfast, or all those articles that come up, and they're just clickbait for everything.
It's cool actually, because I'm getting a whole bunch of press because of my Andy Summers interview.
Yeah, I saw that. Wow.
And cool. Some of it was because of Van Halen, because we talked about Eddie Van Halen, about I'm telling Andy, I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, but Andy Summers, it's so weird telling your guitar hero the story in person, It's like, I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, but when I met Eddie, I met Eddie back in 2014. I have a photo of us right here. There we are. I met him in 2014 at a private party. A mutual friend introduced us. And when I met Edward, I told him I was kind of a fan. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of a fan.
Right.
Whatever. I wasn't like, because, that's just, I didn't want to be like some weirdo.
You have a microphone and interviewing.
Oh, man. I mean, the thing is, Andy Summers asked me the same. He's like, did you ever interview Eddie? And I'm like, no, I mean, now that I think of it, I probably could have, but but the thing is, if you see in this photo here, oh man, where'd it go? You can't see it. You can't see it. I'm wearing a camera, like on my belt loop. I'm wearing a little camera. So technically I could have taken it out and talked to him and stuff, but I didn't. When I met him, when I met Edward, I realized he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
He's just a normal guy. Just happens to look like the guy that we grew up on. That's our superhero, but he's just a normal dude.
Yeah.
So when I met him, everything changed. It totally changed for me, and he became like a real, and
Yeah.
So like when I'm talking to Andy Summers, saying, hey, I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen, but then when I heard you, that changed a lot of stuff for me as well. It got me away from doing this and doing the, all that stuff. Because there's only one Eddie. But what was I saying? But anyway.
Andy Summers, the Hearing the Police.
So because of that, a lot of websites picked up on that, and so I got a lot of press because of that. Now I'm saving all of it, I'm PDFing all of it to put on my. I'm getting more credibility now after years of doing this show. Finally, things are happening for us, you guys. It's amazing. We're gonna, But anyway, so I'm getting a lot of press because of the Eddie Van Halen thing with Andy Summers, but also, I got a story came out yesterday. Music Radar put out a story, and I post all this stuff to my community tab on the channel here, because I showed Andy that pedal. There's the Walking on the Moon flanger by Electro-Harmonix.
Yeah.
And Andy says, "Oh, I would have called that a chorus." Like he's like, "I would have called that a chorus," They
didn't consult with him for that?
They did. They went out to eat, and they talked about it. He told the story on my interview. But the thing is, I think that pedal, it kind of, it could almost be like a chorus too.
Right.
I mean, I never had an original one. I actually I have it right here.
It's the Mistress, right? Wasn't it the
Electric Mistress?
Yeah.
So I mean, I have it right here, but it's flanger filter matrix. I think you could kind of call it a chorus flanger because of the sounds.
Yeah, I still when I think of flanger, I think of Van Halen flanger, the MXR, the really thick Jakey Lee type stuff. I always think more.
What's that called? The M12 or the there's a number. There's a name for it.
127 or something, or 172.
126 or there's a name. That was my favorite flanger of all time, forever.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 5 of them. They're all broken. I've got one that works. I used to buy those back in the day. I'd get them for $150.
When people ask things on here, am I supposed to answer them?
You can, yeah.
Blue Hawk.
We got people watching. There are people watching this.
Do you have an MXR phaser and do you use it? Yeah, I actually have 2 MXR Phase 90s. I have the original. Oh gosh, I don't know. Just what do they call it? The block logo that's stronger, and then
the Dunlop.
Yeah.
The orange one with the square logo on it, because the original one has a script logo.
Yeah, I have both of them. I have the.
Oh, there's your board right there.
Yeah, there it is. This is the one that everybody.
Yeah.
I think this one was modded. So I bought this from somebody off Craigslist like 12 years ago, and it sounds more like a Van Halen phaser than anything I ever had. And then, but I also have the script logo one. I'm going to put together another Van Halen board with the. I have the striped phaser, the striped flanger, and all that stuff. But I actually bought the script one because when I bought the EVH one, I didn't like that you had to push the button to. I mean, I guess it was cool, but they didn't sound. I just thought the orange just looked cooler than the stripes. I don't know why. Like the guitar that we were just looking at, But yeah, I've always been into MXR and Boss and whatever, and all of they're all cool, man. I never understood those new pedals that are like $400 or $500, and it's just too much for pedals. Anything over $100 is really too much for me for a pedal, But I have that one, and I have the script one, and the script one's I guess it's more subtle and more along the lines of what was in the 70s. And there's no battery. I'm sorry, you can't plug it in. You have to use a 9-volt, and there's no light. in it because they want to keep it as accurate to the original as they can.
M117. Thank you, Brad. That's what it is.
We knew there was a 7 in there.
The M117 is the flanger, the gray one. That was my favorite one forever. Ever and ever and ever. But now I love this Walking on the Moon Electric Mistress, but I guess it's a chorus. It's a chorus flanger. It's I think it's both is what it is. I think. But yeah, the orange Phase 90, I had one of those I got for $25 at a shop years ago. I had the striped ones of both the EVH Dunlop ones. Had to get rid of both, not because I wanted to, just had to. Because, it's like, oh, you can always get this one again, right. But now they only paint the top. So if you had the ones that are painted all the way around,
they actually reintroduced the ones that were painted all over, and they're like $150. The ones that are just painted on the top are like $130, and so many people complained about that. They reintroduced the ones that are painted all the way around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it sounds better if there's stripes all the way around it, I guess.
Oh man, yeah. We just. A few weeks ago, we went and saw Mammoth play, and I didn't meet Wolfgang, but I met everybody else. I ran into them, and I knew them from the internet, so we hung out. I got to meet Patrick Bertinelli and talk with a bunch of them. But here, we were right up in front of the stage during the show, so I saw Wolfgang's board.
Oh, see, his is painted all the way around. It looks like he's got a DD3 delay, too, a Boss DD3.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the EVH ones, the chorus, the flanger, the wah, Phase 90.
Yeah. Yeah, the chorus, I think, is just the top. I don't know if the chorus was actually painted all the way around.
No, it wasn't. Because I had that when it first came out, and it was always just the top was painted.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and he played those new guitars, which was really cool to see, like up close, in person.
Is that the new army green matte color there?
Yeah,
no, cool.
Yeah. To see the new EVH stuff like that close up.
Yeah, that's like a recreation of the bridge from the Shark, right?
It looks like it.
Yeah, an old Ibanez bridge.
Yeah, I think they call it like a harmonica bridge. Yeah, I mean, we were literally just right in front of him here. We were like right in front of him while he's playing.
Cool.
So it was great. It's like that. That's my entire view. The entire show is basically that.
Right. Did you bother him at all or not?
No,
I do that when I'm up front. I bother people about their pedal boards and, hey, what is that, man? What's your setting?
No, but it was so loud.
Oh yeah,
it was so loud. Like if we would have tried saying anything, he wouldn't have heard us.
Yeah, I make them come off stage and talk to me at the end of the show, like the guy from Flock of Seagulls, and there was a band we used to follow around called Mothership that opened up for Corrosion and Conformity and Black Label Society. And before COVID, all these little clubs that, you could go see all these bands, and COVID kind of wiped out a lot of those places, at least around here. I don't know there, but here they did. All the places that I used to play with my band, a lot of them went out. They tried to become restaurants and do takeout and anything they could to stay alive, and a lot of them didn't make it.
I think they did a lot of that stuff here too, but a lot of the stuff here is pretty much normal again.
Yeah.
But it's cool because that same venue, that's called the Golden State Theater in Monterey, California, the venue where I saw Mammoth. Andy Summers is going to be there in November.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to go see him there, and I'm going to get to, talk to him and everything.
Right.
So that's going to be cool.
You can do an interview backstage, maybe live stream it from backstage, sitting on the couch.
Maybe. I mean, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
If he wants to do that. I mean, I don't know with the internet. Well, I was there. I was already there. I don't know if the internet was. I'll test it. We'll see. I'll definitely get footage.
I just saw one from around here. Somebody interviewed Pat Badger and Nuno from Extreme. Just backstage after the show, they were just all hanging out on the couch and did an interview. Like, oh, there we go, yeah. I got to remember every time I say it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just been a running joke.
If I say Yngwie, do you have an Yngwie picture or not?
I don't.
No, okay.
I never met him.
You're probably better off.
But if you say Floyd Rose,
oh, there he is.
There we go.
Jeff Bridges, the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. And then I ran into this guy. Do you know who this guy is?
Somebody from Peavey, maybe. He's got a 65. Is that Jim DeCola or whatever his name is?
No. Well, Jim DeCola was on here, but
right.
You see his name tag?
Rudy. Oh, was that Rudy Laren or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that was was Van Halen's tech, right?
That's Eddie Van Halen's first guitar tech. That's the guy. And because of the Van Halen Donington 84 video that's now extinct,
right?
But I have it. We get to see him introduce the band. The guy that would introduce the band all those years. And now the mighty Van Halen. That's him. That's Rudy. That's Rudy
He's
Laren.
The one on the Donington video that does that too?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So I was at NAMM one year, as you can see, walking around. And
Joe Satriani a little bit.
Yeah. I was walking around and a friend of mine was over talking to this booth here. I forget what booth this is, but it goes walking over. So I walk over to this friend of mine and I see this guy sitting there. And I'm like, I know you. And he's like, no, you don't. And I look at, I'm like, you're Rudy Laren. I'm like, I know you. And then finally he's like, okay. So I was talking to him for a little bit. I think this was before I was even doing these shows, actually. This goes back several years. But he did give me his phone number. So I just got to find it.
Right.
But he was cool. He was a cool dude. And he's the guy, he teched for Edward from when they first started up until before 84. Then when Sammy joined, Zeke Clark came along with Sammy and teched for Edward and Sammy. And then Rudy did come back in 93 for the Right Here, Right Now tour. And then he came back for Balance. So he was teching for Edward during Balance.
Oh, that's cool. He would know my friend Dave Goodrich then because when I think it was the American leg of the tour, the European Skid Row was opening up. When was that? It was 90. I think it was sometime in the Balance tour. My friend Dave Goodrich was Rob Affuso's drum tech, and he had a couple stories about meeting, getting to hang out with Eddie and Alex and stuff backstage, which was like, I'm like, dude, why didn't you tell me that before? Anytime somebody tells me they met Eddie, I'm like, wow, tell me everything that happened,
I can tell you what happened when I met him. I was invited to a private party with a mutual friend, and when I showed up, a friend of mine that I was with saw Eddie walk by, and the thing is, where's the photo? Most people you wouldn't have recognized him. Short hair and kind of Balance era, I guess, but this is 2014. So a friend of mine, he sees him walk by. He's like, there's Eddie. He just saw him. He walked up the stairs. And so we go to the, I walk up the stairs and I see him. Actually, I do have photos. I'll have to find them. I do have photos of Eddie, like standing there talking to other people and stuff. And I left him alone. I was there for probably 3-4 hours at this event. Left him alone. Didn't bother him. When it came time to where people are going up to him and he's taking pictures with people, I had our mutual friend introduce me to him. So she introduced us, and like I said, I'm like, hey, I'm kind of a fan. I think I drove down there from up here, and it only took me like 5 hours. Like I got down there really quick.
It was in LA?
Yeah, it was in Hollywood. And he knew the distance between Hollywood and East Bay Area. So he's like, wow, you got down here really quick. And so, then he's like, well, now you can go back.
Oh, wow.
And he gave me a fist bump to the chest. He was very funny. He gives me a fist bump to the chest, and he's right in my face talking to me. He's literally right in my face talking to me. And he had at this party we were at, he had the sausage hors d'oeuvres that they were serving out, because I could smell the sausage on his breath right as he's in front of me. So, and I shook his hand. It was very soft. And like I said, he was just a normal guy, but he looked like, in person, people always look different than
right.
TV or posters,
I look
or
like
even
Brad
on
Pitt
stage.
in person.
I do too. That's funny. You say that. So when I met him, he's just a normal dude. And then it didn't really hit me till, a week later. I'm sitting there at a stoplight, and I'm like, wow, I met Eddie Van Halen. And then after that, I started doing this show, and now I brag nonstop, yeah, no, he was super cool. And I tell people he was just a normal guy.
Yeah.
But no, he's the king. Well, yeah, he is, but he's just normal dude.
Most of those guys are, I've met a lot of people. Gosh, I met Rudy Sarzo when I was like in 10th grade or something. And that was, White Snake, biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
He was doing a PV clinic at the local music store, and my brother made a call or something, and I got to go backstage or backstore, I guess you would call it. And he was just signing autographs. And when I saw him, it was like the first time I ever saw somebody from MTV, right in front of me. And you expect them to be like, 20 feet tall, and they're just like,
they're always like this.
Yeah. He was just like a regular dude. And
it's always like, nice to meet you.
Well, yeah, most of them, but he was really cool. And I told him I was a huge Randy fan, and just really quiet guy. The one that wasn't small was, I met the singer from Typo Negative before Ozfest, Peter Steele. You ever see him? He was like 6'8", and he was, my buddy Dave loves the story. We were going to Ozfest in Charlotte, and he was in Sitco getting a sandwich. And he came out, and I couldn't remember his name. You ever blank out, like somebody, and then when you see him in person, you forget their name. I was like, you're the dude from Typo Negative. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, why are you getting a sandwich at Sitco? Because I thought he's just like, oh, they don't have food for us. Only the headliners get. I just thought that was kind of weird, but he was really nice too. I've never met like a rock star that was like a jerk to me. So I don't know. Some people do. I don't know. I've heard that about some people. They've all been nice when I've met them.
Most people that I've met have been really nice. The one person that I met that was kind of like frustrated was Kip Winger.
Really? I would never have expected that.
I met him they did a record signing. This was when their second record came out. It was called In the Heart of the Young.
Okay.
And what was the song? Can't Get Enough. Can't get enough. And then yeah. When that came out, they were doing a record signing at the local record store. This was in Lincoln, Nebraska. It was called Pickles Records. Mm-hmm. And so I met them. I went and I stood in line. And when I got to each member, I talked to them. I gave Reb Beach a couple of my own guitar picks. Well, they were just Fender picks with little stickers on them. I'm like, this is my pick.
Was it Paul Taylor and Rod Morgenstern?
Yeah. They were all there. I met Reb Beach, super nice. He was like, wow, cool. He took my pick. I didn't ask him for one of his. I gave him one of mine.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
This is 1990. So I meet him. He's super cool. Paul Taylor was cool. Rod Morgenstern, I'm saying, hey, is it true you smile all the time when you play? He's like, yeah, I have a good time. Yep. And then when we got to Kip Winger, I remember maybe it was because he got really mad because the girl either before or after me was trying to take a photo of him or go like this and the camera wouldn't work. This is before cell phones.
Right, yeah. Like a
so
or something.
So he ended up getting really frustrated with that. So when I got to him, though, I asked him, so with me, back then, everything was Van Halen related. Now I do a Van Halen show, so everything is Van Halen related. Right. I remember he had been at that opening of the Cabo Wabo Cantina in Mexico. You'd see it on MTV. MTV had a all-day Saturday special called Viva Van Halen Saturday.
I remember that.
And I videotaped the entire thing that day. I have them on VHS, whatever. I mean, a lot of it's probably on YouTube now. Anyway, you see them talking to Kip Winger. He's there with Rachel Hunter, right? And Kip Winger's like, "This is the place to be. This place is awesome, yeah, So anyway, when I meet Kip, this was the same year, so this was only some months later. I'm like, "Hey, what was it like at the Cabo Wabo?" He's like, "Nah, it was okay." And I'm just like, wow. He gets mad at this girl because she's trying to take a picture with him and that wouldn't go off. And so maybe I caught him at a bad time. I still have the signed poster from all those guys.
Oh, wow. I wish I kept that stuff.
And then I also, I told this story. I had Billy Sheehan on the show here a couple times. And I told him this story. This was same store? No, different record store. Same chain, just a different location. Mr. Big. This was 1992. This is Lincoln, Nebraska. Mr. Big.
Second
Billy
album?
Sheehan. Huh?
There's a second album, right?
Yes.
Yeah, green tinted 60s mind and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This guy, Paul Gilbert.
There he is. He had longer hair back then, though.
He had longer hair. Eric Martin, who was a possible Van Halen singer at one point.
Pat Torpy, who passed away.
Pat Torpy. So they come to town. The reason they came to town was because this friend of mine who was a local radio DJ, his name was John the Animal Terry for Q102 in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's like the classic station at the time. Mr. Big comes to town basically to thank him because he's the DJ responsible for the song To Be With You becoming a hit. Really? He was the first guy to start playing that song on the radio. To Be With You. Their big hit, the acoustic hit. If you remember that.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, little girl.
Yep.
Broken heart can't be.
Yeah. So it was my friend, it was this radio DJ that started playing that. So they come to town to thank him. They do a signing at a music store, at a record store. I skipped school. Well, I skip school all the time, but for that day I skipped school and I followed them around. So anyway, so I go up to them. I go up to Billy Sheehan. And Van Halen was coming to town the next month. They were coming to Omaha, Nebraska for the Carnal Knowledge tour. And so I go up to Billy. I'm like, "Hey, can you get me backstage passes for Van Halen?" He's like, "Nah, it's a different organization. I can't help you. I can't help you there." But so, and then what else? Yeah. So anyway, so they were cool. So they come to town, and so I got an autograph poster of theirs, which I have. I'll show it to you guys at some point. I've been telling you guys this for years, but it's in the shed. And then they play a show at the local Lincoln on the campus. The show was $12, and I wasn't going to go to the show, but I was walking. I don't know. I was either there or something, and Pat Torpy comes walking by, and he's like, "Hey, good to meet you. You coming to the show?" I'm like, He's like, "Come to the show." So I shell out the $12 and I go to the show. And so I see Mr. Big. And I remember Paul Gilbert. I remember he's playing one of his Ibanez guitars, but it glows in the dark. Because in between each song, he would lift the guitar up when they go to black, when there's no lights, and he would shake it around and it would be green. Right? It might have been like the white. Might have been like the white Ibanez with the remember the stuff hanging off it?
Oh, the frillies, yeah.
Had the F holes and had the frillies
Yeah.
hanging off. Yeah. It might have been that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he always played those Ibanez. He had that pink one that looked like a Telly when he was in Racer X.
Mm-hmm.
With everybody became a star from Racer X pretty much, except the bass player went on to play with Mars Volta. The drummer went on to play with Judas Priest. The singer became the drummer for Badlands, Jakey Lee's band, for a while, and then Paul, became Paul and got to meet you.
That's right. Yeah, I saw him. I've seen him at the NAMM show a few times.
Yeah, he's always there.
He's like this tall compared to me. I have another photo of us. He's like this, and
Yeah.
I'm like this. Like I'm him. I'm like this.
Right.
Next to him.
Right.
He's in that photo.
Yeah,
He's literally leaning into it.
yeah.
Lean into it. He's literally. You can see. He's way taller. Nuno. I think Nuno's shorter than I am.
Yeah, I think Nuno's supposed to be like 5'8" or something, right? I don't know.
Like 5'8". I think Edward is like. I'm 5'7".
Okay, that's about right.
So-
He's like 5'8", yeah.
So yeah. There's that. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. What else? Look at this. We're 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Is everybody still awake? Bill
You see
Wyatt.
any-
Thank you.
is it people watching? You can see the counter, or
Oh yeah, we got 60 people here.
oh wow, hi.
Hey everybody.
I'm just talking to you. I don't even believe. I can't even.
No, there was never anybody here. No, we got 60 people here, man. This is how it is. We love people that watch this stuff.
That's 59 more people than usually listen to me. So
Yeah. So I don't know what. I mean, we've covered a lot of stuff.
yeah, if you're serious about the Mitch Malloy thing, I can reach out
Oh,
to him and see if he'd want
totally.
to do that.
Totally. Tell them. I mean, I do a Van Halen show, but I mean, I just do a show.
Right.
But there's the Van Halen part. Tell them I just interviewed Andy Summers. Billy
Right.
Sheehan was here. All that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he did get. It seemed kind of weird, like on the Facebook, because he's like, "You don't know what you're talking about," and it seemed like.
Did he know who you were? Or did he think
No.
you were just yeah,
No.
that's probably
No.
why. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he
No,
just has a different personality, but I think, like I said, it's just everybody's personality is different. I just he's a cool guy. Every interaction I've had with him is really good. He's really done pretty well, having a career without being quote unquote having tons of success, but he's stayed in the business. I mean, I was goofing around on YouTube, and I found videos of him with White Lion and Extreme, and Nuno was playing a Steinberger, and I'm like, whoa, what is that? And then they're singing Ain't Talking About Love, and I go, that's Mitch Malloy. And this was from like 1988 or 89. And I texted him, I'm like,
Really?
I found this video. Is this you? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, what band were you in? He goes, the Mitch Malloy band. I said, oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know there was a Mitch Malloy band. And to me, I was like, dude, how come you never talk about that? You're on stage standing between Vito Bratta and Nuno Betancourt singing, and he looks exactly the same as he does now. And those videos are out there. It was like some kind of benefit or something in New York, in the late 80s. And I think Mitch just put out an album not long ago. I think he just sells right off his website, like a lot of people do now. like Todd, my friend Todd, you had him on your show.
Yeah.
Friday, toddhowarth.biz, TODHOWARTH.biz. He's got CDs. I mean, it's a different world, man. We're not going to the record store anymore to buy stuff, but if you're like me, you still like once in a while. I mean, you can see back there, I've got all my CDs, and everybody's like, oh, what are you even about? Man, I still like to have a tangible thing in my hand to read and look at pictures. If I'm going to spend money on it, I don't want to just click the mouse. There's stuff you got to read and know, like what kind of guitar picks does this guy use?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean it depends on what your setup is too, because not everybody has a CD player. I have a CD player.
I don't have one anymore, but
I have one in the car.
Right.
Okay, here's my problem. Okay. I have the iPod Classic, which is the one that holds freaking 10,000 songs or whatever. Right. I have that one. I've had it ever since it came out. Mm-hmm. The thing barely works. It has to stay plugged in, so it stays in my car. It stays plugged into my car. I can't update it with anything new because iTunes isn't iTunes anymore. Now it's a subscription.
Right.
It's Apple Music. Mm-hmm. So all the music I bought from them, if I was to plug that into my computer, who knows? It would all be gone or who knows what.
Right.
But I have thousands and thousands of tracks. I've got so much Van Halen on there, like unbelievable bootleg stuff. Same with the Police. Same with all my favorite bands. I've got so much stuff on there, interviews, whatever. So if I go to buy new music now, I can't put it in that iPod.
Right.
And so the only way is I'd have to get a CD and listen to the CD in the car. I don't have a CD player here. If I was to listen to new music here, I would open up Spotify and listen to it here.
Right.
But so if I were to buy music, it would be possibly a CD, and I would just mainly listen to it in the car because I drive a lot. I drive up to the East Bay back and forth twice a week. I'll be doing that tomorrow, by the way. So I actually almost bought the new Taylor Swift CD yesterday.
Oh, really?
She has a double CD. Yeah. Her last record's actually really good. It's called Midnights. And to take it back to Van Halen, her live guitar player plays EVH gear.
Oh, really? Yeah, a lot of
So if you see her in concert, he plays Van Halen guitars.
Right.
So there you go.
Awesome.
But actually, I met him at the NAMM show years ago, and I have a good friend actually is good friends with him. Anyway, yeah, CDs. So there's stores like we out here in the Bay Area. We always had amazing stores. Amoeba Music, Rasputin's Music. So you could everything was always available out here.
Yeah, we had independent stores here when I was in college. There's vintage vinyl in the 90s. Like buying records was still kind of like something that people didn't do. It was like, oh my gosh, you have vinyl, so you could only go to certain stores for it because remember they weren't making it for so long. And
that never went away here because of the Bay Area, because of stuff like Amoeba. Vinyl was always available, like used. Right. It's funny because when I lived in Miami, when I was working with Desmond back in 1998, I remember going to their stores and being like, "Man, this store sucks." Right. They don't have. I couldn't wait to come back here and go back to the Amoeba Music.
Right.
You know. Saturn Records in Oakland was cool. Mike Neese is saying in the chat, Saturn. They knew me as the Van Halen guy. They would save everything cool Van Halen that would come in, like those Looney Tune red vinyls. You ever see those? Yeah. I would get them all from Saturn. And actually, I ran into the drummer from Green Day. He was hanging out in there one day.
Trey Cool.
I sold him a guitar one time that ended up in Spin Magazine. There's a photo of Green Day in a bathtub. And there's like an old Japanese guitar they're sitting with. I sold him that guitar.
Oh, wow.
And they used it for that photo shoot. Anyway, so Saturn Records, like Mike Neese here, he knows. He knew the area. Saturn was an awesome record store in Oakland, California, 25 years ago. I think what happened was they really got into selling like bootlegs, like CDRs, and maybe they eventually got shut down for doing that. This goes back to the late 90s. But yeah, they used to save Saturn Records. They would save me like all the amazing Van Halen, like vinyl bootlegs, those Looney Tune, red vinyls, anything Van Halen that would come in, they would put behind the counter for me. Actually, they sold me. I sold it decades ago. I wish I still had it. I had a Van Halen 2 album signed by all four members.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be worth it.
I wish I still had it.
Yeah.
And I think it was legit. I think it was real. They sold it to me for cheap because they're like, oh, somebody just brought this in. Well, you can have it for $50, whatever. And I probably ended up selling it for $100
Right.
back 20 years ago. And now that I think about it, I wish I still had that, man, because it'd be sitting right back there.
Yeah.
Or I'd be giving it away, like
man.
I'm giving away this magazine tonight.
There you go. I got to see if I can find one of those. I go to the store. I remember seeing like the Pink Floyd one. I don't ever remember seeing the Van Halen.
There's Beatles, Pink Floyd, blah, blah, blah. There's tons of them. The Van Halen one, it says display until September 15th. So it looks like they might have taken it off the shelves. Do you have a Barnes & Noble in your area?
I think so. Yeah.
They might still have this there. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to check it out. I'll get one somewhere.
Yeah. You can get them. Sorry, I got to plug in my laptop real quick. You can get them at grocery stores, bookstores.
Yeah, that's where I always see them, is at the, when you're in the checkout at the grocery store and it's like, TikTok's gum, some kind of diet book, and then the magazine. And I always like, oh, wow, that's cool. Like the Pink Floyd one. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to get this. Then it's like $17.95. I'm like, well, I'm not buying it. It was like $4, I'd buy it, but not 18.
I know. These are like 15.
Oh, wow. Well,
A
somebody's
$15 value could be yours tonight.
That's it, man.
New. Brand new. Yeah. Yeah, man. Huh? Chris King, you'd love to have them? Yeah.
What do? They all hit one, right? Is that how you did it last time? Everybody hits a one, and then
Technically, as long as somebody says anything in the chat, they're eligible.
Oh, okay.
What happens is the chat records anybody that says anything in the chat, either on YouTube or Facebook.
What if the Nightbot wins? The Nightbot can't win, can he?
No, because Nightbot is me.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Nightbot is me.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's like the Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and technically, if you guys are on Facebook too, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, you get 2 chances, because that counts as 2 comments. So if we're Facebook friends, where's my Facebook at? If you're here on YouTube, you open up another browser, open up another screen, and tune into the Facebook feed of this, and just say something. Yeah, we got Jay Marshall, we got Ron Wingler, we got Kelly. Yeah, we have a lot of people over on the Facebook as well. You guys, what? You guys sent a lady a Kramer poster. I'm just getting a text message. I've got this phone number down here, so I get text messages. Bill. Bill is saying, you'll have to ask him. I don't know how many, if he has any left. Yeah, that's 40 grit. That's 40 grit. You'll have to get hold of him. He might be in our chat, actually.
He was earlier. I don't know if he still is.
He was.
Yeah.
Here's. Hey, John. Here we go. We got John. Welcome, man. You're on Facebook. Sean is on Facebook. Yeah, so see, there's my Facebook. Facebook Johnny Beane. If you jump over there, say hi over there as well. You'll get another chance to win. So, yeah. There we go. So, what? We're going on, I don't know. How you feeling? Are we cool?
I'm cool. I don't know what
what else? Any questions? Let's field some questions and then spin. Yeah, that sounds good. Any questions in the chat? Now is your time. Hi, Johnny Beane. I am what? Grunk? What? What's a
We
grunkle?
should have like trivia, like see if somebody can stump us with the Van Halen trivia that none of us can answer, like they used to do on that metal show.
Oh,
Try that.
try that.
Between
Does
you,
anybody have?
I think it would be hard to stump us between you and I. Anything Van Halen related that we don't know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're game. They might not be. They're probably scared of us.
Does anybody in the chat have any trivia questions you want to ask? Make sure we see it.
His favorite strings. I don't know if that's not trivia, but
What are your favorite strings? I like the Darios and Ernie balls.
it's same. Yeah, they're all sort of the same to me. Whatever ones are the cheapest on Amazon, which is like the DRs or something. Because guitar strings used to be like $3 a pack. Now you go and they're like $9. I'm like, oh, jeez. Yeah. So I just go on Amazon. I put in electric guitar string 942, 946, and I go low to high. And whatever one is the cheapest one, that's the one I order. That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go. Well, I survived Walmart. Rock Daddy is saying, hey, man.
Got a question. What two guitars did Eddie use in Australia Sydney tour 2012? They went to Sydney in 2012 with Dave?
2012. Yeah. Yes. They did.
Oh, they might have, because that would have been when they did Tokyo Dome, right? Or so I guess they were kind of in the general area.
Is that when they were all wearing like the Han Solo outfits? They're all wearing the white shirt with the black. What do you call that?
I know Eddie was using a Wolfgang, a white Wolfgang with black stripes on it. Because that's what he used for Tokyo Dome, and he had his hair pulled back and all that. So I would think that would be one of them, a white Wolfgang with black stripes on it. And then I think there was he always used one of the Strat guitars for Al Waite, because that was in standard tuning because it was a keyboard song.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I think the white Wolfgang with the black stripes would have been one of them. I don't know if I'm right or not. They have to let us know if we're right.
I think he was using that guitar in Japan.
Right.
I think, and that was a relic guitar too, and it's now on display at the
Was that one relics though in 2012?
Yes.
Okay, I thought they didn't do that.
The black and white striped one was relict, and that's now on display at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
Oh wow, okay.
So you can actually go and see that guitar.
Right. And there would have been something that he used in standard tuning, which I think would have been one of the Stripe series, right?
Possibly one of the striped ones, like he striped up himself. Or I think later on he was using just random EVH guitars, like the Star.
Yeah.
Kind of like
he was using Wolfgang standards. I think when
standards.
I saw for the song that was in standard tuning for Ali. Yeah.
Yep. The circles.
Yep.
The circles he was using. You would see those. What is your favorite album from pre-Hagar?
Pre-Hagar, did it say?
You mean like the first 6 albums, you mean? I think you said the other night, didn't you?
Yeah, I was to me just diver down, just more because of just remembering that time in my life, because it was kind of still like unique to be a Van Halen fan at that time. Once '84 hit and Jump was on MTV every 10 minutes, and like everybody liked Van Halen then, but Diver Down was the last one. It was like, who do you like, Van Halen? You know, it wasn't totally mainstream yet. At least on the East Coast, it wasn't, because you're out there, they might have been superstars.
Mm-hmm. I always say Women and Children first.
Really?
is my favorite. Yeah. Although I do have it's sitting up in there somewhere. I do have one of those double cassettes. It was an official cassette.
One on one side, one on the other.
There's a Women, Children First, Fair Warning.
Yep.
2 albums on one cassette.
Yeah.
I'll usually show that one and get 2 for 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that same thing. Yeah. I think they had an Ozzy one that was like Blizzard of Oz on one side and Bark at the Moon on the other.
Mm-hmm.
I had that too. Those were great. You just listen, flip the tape over, and keep going for like an hour and a half, like this show.
It looks like we can do an even 3 hours. It looks like.
Yeah.
We got 10 minutes, and we'll hit 3. We'll spin in about 5 or 6 minutes, you guys. So make sure you say something in the chat. That's all you got to do. If you can hear me, press 1 right now. If you can hear me. Anybody that's listening to this. We got 66 people here.
Wow.
We got about 45 entries.
That's cool, man.
So there are some people.
Thanks, guys, for watching and hanging with us this long. I appreciate it. Johnny appreciates it. Mitch appreciates it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we love doing this stuff. Yeah, I mean, this show... not the Van Halen show, but like I've been doing Tuesdays for years at this time. Those shows used to be 3 hours, 4 hours,
right?
Somewhat. And then when I started doing exclusively Van Halen on Tuesdays, I started doing 2 hours, and then sometimes just an hour. I would do just like 1 hour of like news and stuff, and. Right. And you can kind of you can gauge, because I can see. I got my screen. I got 3 screens in front of me. Here is just this. Although I do get comments, over here. I have a laptop sitting in front of me here that has the giveaway tool that I can see. I've got another screen over here that has all the analytics. Average view duration. The average viewer watched half an hour tonight, which is actually really good.
Good.
That's like a full episode of something, We're at 336 views live tonight's show. 51 thumbs ups, and I can see the chat over here as well. I can see inside like YouTube Studio is what it's called, and then I have Facebook open as well, so I can see like the Facebook stream and some other stuff.
So it was a good night.
Tonight was awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm boring or if I'm not.
No, this is great. No, plus we covered a lot of stuff, which is awesome. We talked about the Bon Jovi, the Desmond Child, Mitch Malloy. I mean, all kinds of other stuff in there, and that's cool. I mean, that's the stuff. That's the stuff to talk.
My brother calls me Rain Man, so I don't know, man. I've just been watching MTV since the day it came out, and I don't know, man. I've just been around music forever, and I just remember everything. And
same here.
Like you just kind of. I think the term now is deep dive. I was doing deep dives when nobody knew what the hell that was.
Mm-hmm.
Me, it was just learning. Wanting to know everything I could about things I liked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Same here. I started watching MTV back when it first started.
What's the first video? The first video? Got to know it.
Oh, yeah. Video killed the radio star.
What was the second video? Does anybody know it? Second video ever played on MTV in 1981?
I don't know it.
They're not going to know it either. It was Pat Benatar.
Oh, wow.
You better run. You better hide. Yeah.
Chatter Limits. Tonight's prize is a Van Halen Life magazine.
Ooh, somebody said
mint
Mexican
condition.
Radio.
Huh?
Somebody said Mexican radio. Ooh, somebody got Mexican radio. That was Wall of Voodoo. Remember the band Wall of Voodoo?
The singer. Singer. He used to follow me on Twitter.
He did the soundtrack, I think, for was it Rumblefish with Stuart Copeland?
Dude, he did. He was the vocalist for that song called "Don't Box Me In."
Right.
which was the title track, the single off Rumblefish. Dude, that's my favorite soundtrack ever, man.
Right.
I love that soundtrack.
Yeah, Wall of Voodoo.
Stuart Copeland, man. He's my. Look at this, man. Look at this, man.
Check he gave you a stick.
Check this out. Well, I got this from Andy's Guitar Tech.
Oh, okay.
When the Police were at Concord, California, amphitheater, because I kept in touch with Andy all those years through his tech. Now I'm in touch with Andy, himself. But anyway, so when the Police comes to play in 2007, 2008, I get this drumstick, and it's used, right, and you can actually see the video on my channel here. I go to meet Stuart. Stuart put out a book in 2009, 10. You can see the video on my channel here. I go up and he signs the stick for me.
Oh, wow.
So
very cool.
This is not tonight's prize. Maybe eventually. Maybe. If I can get, to my 1 million subscribers, I'm giving everything away eventually. Eventually I'll be standing here in a potato sack. That door will be open. There'll be nothing there. I mean, it'll, eventually.
Computer, the laptop will be gone.
When I get to 1 million, I'll be talking to this.
Yeah.
You guys. Yeah, we're trying, and we're growing, man. We're really growing. We're going to get to 10,600 now, which we can do because we're growing by like 150 a month. That's great.
That's pretty cool. People are chiming in, and they're right. They're saying Neil Girardo was the first guitar player on MTV because the Buggles did not have a guitar player. It was Trevor Horn and Jeff Downs, I think, that were in Yes on the Drama album in 1980. So, yeah, the first guitar player was Neil Giraldo from Pat Benatar, her husband, on MTV. Very good.
Janice, thank you for the tweet. I just saw your tweet. I'm going to reach out to Eric Bazillion. Say, hey, remember me? Try to get him on here.
And he sang backup on Time After Time?
Yeah. He was the guy.
It was a cool harmony. It was a really
the male vocal is him. Yeah, and I totally hear it. Once you meet him and you hear him sing and stuff, it's like, oh, that's him. Yeah. Then every time Girls Just Want to Have Fun comes on the radio, wherever I am, I hear it, and I'm like, that guitar.
I think Rick Derringer toured with her, too, because Rick Derringer was playing Steinberger's back then, and he toured with Cyndi Lauper for that. Was it She's So Unusual? That was the name of the album in '84 with all those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know too much.
See, we know a lot of stuff, and that's what's awesome. It's awesome being able to share that stuff on here. Let's see, where are we at? All right. You ready to spin?
Let's do it.
All right. We're giving away a Life Van Halen magazine tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And see, once we spin, most people are just going to bounce. So let me just say, well, no, not really, but let me just say, you guys, thank you for watching. And don't forget, let's get to 10,600 YouTube subscribers. We can do it. This January, I'll be at the NAMM show. So look for exclusive live NAMM footage right here on YouTube, on Facebook. And don't forget, 1 month from now, I will be in Las Vegas. I'll be there attending what's called TwitchCon, which is, it's almost like the NAMM convention for the Twitch streaming platform. I'm basically going to network, to meet people, to stream. A lot of people think, oh, it's just video games and dumb stuff. No, it's not. It's all sorts of stuff. It's everything. I'm live on Twitch every night, you guys. You can go to twitch.tv/Johnny Beane. You can follow me on Twitch. Some of you guys are already there. Some of you guys do follow me there. But I'll be giving you guys exclusive footage from TwitchCon in Las Vegas over on my Twitch channel, October 18th through the 24th. And I will be streaming here on YouTube just from Las Vegas, walking around Vegas, going to music stores, guitar stores, whatever. Do I have a gimbal for NAMM? Brian is asking. I do not. I do not have a gimbal. I know what you're talking about, though.
I don't. What is a gimbal?
A gimbal it's basically it's like a holder. Actually, no, I do have one. What am I talking about? I do have one. Where is it? It's in here. I do have one. I do have one. It's like a tripod stand where you put your phone in. Oh. But what happens? A gimbal is actually it runs off power, and you turn it on, and you basically the camera stays still, so you can move around, and the camera moves along with however you move it. So it basically there's no shakiness.
Oh wow!
Like it's a pretty cool thing, and I do have one. I just remembered. So I normally use this one, although I do have a gimbal. I just realized that for the NAMM show for TwitchCon. So I'll be using that stuff. Okay. It becomes a Steadicam. That's right. That's true. Actually, I did a video on my channel here when I first got it. I actually went and I walked around the campus here in Santa Cruz, and I was displaying it. It's one of my videos. I've got almost 4,000 videos on my channel here. This channel goes back years and years and years. There's so much stuff here. But one of the videos is me walking around with the gimbal, although it was like years ago. So I do have one. I will use it. Okay, we're ready? We're ready? 3 hours. This is awesome, man. Tonight was awesome, you guys. A round of applause. Everybody that stuck with us. We got 60 watching, you guys.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Eric. You're welcome back anytime, man.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to come back. You guys, I mean, you know the drill. We do Saturdays where we just talk whatever.
Yeah.
Fridays is normally Kramer. We talk Kramer guitars, or I think we'll talk whatever. I mean, it's, you know, we had your brother on last week.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But Tuesdays.
I'll get you some rock stars too, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, magazine. We're giving this away. So the winner of this magazine. Let's see. I already did that. Giveaway winners. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget. I already went to Guitar Center yesterday. I'll add that video to the end of this video if you guys missed yesterday's video. I was live at Guitar Center. Oh, it's over there. I'll do some sort of something for you guys tomorrow. All right, what is this? Van Halen Life Magazine. All right, the winner is, ready? The winner is Rico B. Rico B. Congratulations, Rico. Phone number 415-952-3263. Send me a text. Text me where to send it. I will send that off. Thank you. Right on. Right on, dude. Dude. Right. Eric, thank you again for joining us. And again, you're welcome back anytime, man. Tuesdays, like I said, Tuesdays has been exclusively Van Halen for about a year now. I've been doing strictly Van Halen stuff. You know, I'm always looking to branch out. So maybe at some point Tuesdays might become, you know, something else. It might become more, you know, like tonight we talked a lot of cool stuff, but it all did come back to Van Halen, you see. Yeah. But let me just say, I don't know if Tuesdays will always be strictly a Van Halen thing, but it'll be something. Right. There'll be something here every Tuesday. I do almost daily videos for these guys, like every day. I do the scheduled stuff Tuesdays, which again has been exclusively Van Halen Tuesdays. Oh, yeah, I call it OE81 Tuesday. I mean, it just makes sense, you know.
That's a great name, yeah.
Fridays, we've been talking Kramer guitars. You know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the future? You know, Saturdays, Saturday night, you were with us the other night. You know, we have a few people with us. We have a great time. And then Sundays, I do what I call guitar ASMR, where I play and I demo, effects, gear, whatever. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, I have an unboxing for this Sunday. A company sent me a piece of gear. It's in that box. So I'll be demoing a piece of gear this Sunday for the Guitar ASMR show. It's in there.
Any hints? Nothing?
Pedal,
guitar, amp, or
wireless.
Ooh.
A wireless system.
Cool. You
yeah.
can walk all around and.
Yes. You can be walking on the moon.
Yeah.
Amazing. And thank you, Laz, for that pedal. He let me borrow it, but he doesn't know where I live. All right. We're out of here. Eric, thank you again. And keep in touch.
Absolutely.
And seriously, if you can get a hold of Mitch, say, hey, I do this show. I just had Andy Summers,
right.
Whatever. I wouldn't mention the Facebook thing, but who knows? I don't know.
I'll reach out to him for you. I'll see if he's interested. He might not be. Who knows? I mean, he may be.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as we treat him like,
Oh, definitely.
Right. He's we'll just let him talk. We'll just ask him a couple Van Halen questions and let him talk.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, bring him on. Come on on. That'd be odd. The three of us, we could talk to him.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be awesome. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow from Guitar Center or something. I don't know. All right. Eric, Johnny Beane. I'll see you guys later.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hey, folks. Niels Lozauer here. Check out my good friend, Johnny Beane TV.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
But let me do one more. Where is it?
We're good Facebook friends.
Okay. Wait, where is it, though? The Johnny Beane TV.
It's YouTube, Facebook,
okay.
Twitter. It's everywhere.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay. It's everywhere.
Hey, folks. Niels Lozauer here. Check out Johnny Beane TV on Facebook and YouTube. You'll enjoy it.
Awesome. Hey, this is Billy Sheehan. You're watching Johnny Beane TV.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Hola, amigos. This is your bass player, Billy Sheehan. You're watching me right here on my dear friend, John. It went away.
Oh, no.
Johnny Beane. We do radio IDs all the time, but if it's not written down, even if the guy is standing right there, it's a weird mental
You said we're dear friends, but then you couldn't remember my name.
Dear friend, what's it?
Who is that?
No, it's a weird thing. Whenever we do radio IDs or TV things, if it's not written down, you're lost. It's hilarious. But Johnny B, come on, here we go. Let's do take two. I'll get it this time, I swear to God.
All right. Ready.
All right. Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan, your bass player, here with my dear friend, Johnny Beane. I never forget this guy. He's been so wonderful for me. Let me do take three. Sorry.
Thank you, Billy.
I overdid it now. Here we go. Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan, your bass player, saying hello to you from the fabulous Johnny Beane Show. And thank you for having me on, Johnny. And I hope I see you all around. New Talus is out. New Winery Dog's coming. Gracias.
Hey, this is Billy Sheehan. You're watching Johnny Beane TV.
Okay, ready?
And hey, don't forget, I'll be live from Las Vegas, October 18th. I'll be at TwitchCon, so follow me on Twitch. And I'll be live here on YouTube as well. So join me October 18th through the 24th, Las Vegas. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.